The Securities and Exchange Commissions say a post on X announcing that the agency had approved exchange-traded funds holding Bitcoin was unauthorized.
SEC Chairman Gary Gensler as the agency's account was hacked. The confusion came as crypto fans anxiously await the approval of the first Bitcoin ETF. The ETF would provide a way to invest in Bitcoin without having to buy the cryptocurrency outright on a crypto exchange such as Binance or Coinbase. Soon after the initial post appeared on X, Gensler said the SEC had not approved the listing and trading of spot Bitcoin exchange-traded products.
That's correspondent Jeremy House. Walmart has unveiled plans to dive further into the world of artificial intelligence and drones. The nation's largest retailer announcing it will expand its drone delivery to nearly 2 million additional households in Dallas-Fort Worth area later this year. News and analysis at townhall.com. Ecuador's president has ordered that criminal gangs be neutralized after days of violence that culminated in an attack on a TV studio.
Terror is the word that's being used by everyone. People are so scared and not really sure what to do. One woman even described this incident to me as a war-like feeling. People are so afraid to leave their house. There's a state of emergency in place. It's been in place since Monday, and there's been overnight curfews with that. However, people are afraid to leave their house even during the day. Military and police are now patrolling. There's a heavy presence really trying to quell this violence.
The BBC's Mimi Swaby reporting. Fire investigators have still not determined what caused an explosion at an historic Texas hotel. It blew out windows and doors onto the streets of downtown Fort Worth. The blast left more than 20 people injured, including one person in critical condition. More at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Travelician, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to a morning without Mike Winters. I ain't he. That wouldn't be me. Nope, Mike Winters is down and out. Okay, let me explain. Let me back up because I feel like there's been a lot of confusion. It's been spread online, a lot of misinformation. Yesterday, we got a comment from one of our listeners asking what happened with the morning show, and the response that our PR team sent out was, Mike is terribly sick. Okay, but he's not terribly sick. Now, he's pretty sick. He's not, like, on his deathbed, okay? Here's what happened. Let's back up and let's paint the whole picture. So, New Year's Eve, Mike and his lovely wife, Kim, they celebrated the new year, ringing in the new year, with our sales manager, Mr. Thomas Beard. Well, late last week, around Wednesday, maybe Thursday of last week, we got the message that our oh-so-amazing sales manager, Mr. Thomas Beard, had a pretty severe case of, I guess, RSV, which I was under the assumption that only, like, kids and, like, older people could get, so it was a little confusing. But apparently there's been a big string of RSV going around here in Roswell and southeastern New Mexico for the last month or so. So it's not unheard of that Thomas came down with a case of RSV. But because of proximities being what they are, Mike and Kim were also celebrating with Thomas. So right around late last week to the weekend, Kim and then Mike both started feeling sick, coming down with their own symptoms of what we can only imagine it was RSV. So as a result, the first couple of days this week, we decided to, since we were kind of guest light, didn't have a lot of guests, we rescheduled what we could, and we moved things around and replayed the Hugh Hewitt show. That being said, it's been 2 days, and we can't let you guys go more than 3 days without an update from your morning show, your only local morning show here in Roswell. So here we find ourselves, a morning without Mike Winters. Welcome to Wednesday. Hope you're having a great one. We got a busy show to get to, or not really necessarily a busy show, but a few guests coming in today. But it's been a while since we last chatted, and it's been a busy couple of days. How you doing, Roy?
Good.
Yeah?
I just like found out that the camera was like cutting your head off because Mike is short, so I had to like actually manually adjust it a little bit.
Yeah, that's understandable. The camera's at hobbit height, and it's a head and shoulders thing. I tend to be head and shoulders above.
I was like,
Mike.
dang, Mike is short. No, but I remember you telling me about that RSVP. I was like, RSVP, what?
Yeah. It's a disease that lets you know beforehand that it's coming.
Yeah.
And how many people it's bringing with it.
Yeah.
Which is nice. You got to respect the disease that lets you know it's on its way. You know, you really do got to respect it. But a lot has happened here in southeastern New Mexico since last we spoke. Spoke would be the past tense of, yeah. First and foremost, I got to say a humongous, and I was kind of waiting on this for Mike to get back, but a humongous congratulations to the Eastern New Mexico University Portales Greyhound Band, because they took in their category, they took the top spot in the Metallica Band Showdown. Did you hear about this? Did you hear about what was happening?
No.
So Metallica, it was their very first year they did this. They chose like 100 different school bands from across the country and different categories. So you had small schools, you had universities, and then like the big Ivy Leagues, essentially. So they had different categories, but they were looking for the band that could best put together essentially a Metallica show. So you know, like when marching bands go out, they do their show with all the displays and all that. Well, several bands put together amazing shows. And if you go to the website, you can actually watch these shows in their entirety. And some amazing shows, some amazing formations.
So I'm going to guess the song.
Well, one of the bands that was in the running was Eastern New Mexico University. It's not a song necessarily, it's a show. So it's, 3 songs.
Oh, it's like a medley.
It's like a 3-song set. I think 3 or 4. Usually it's 3 songs, 3 full songs with a drum feature.
Yeah.
Is how we used to do it when I was in band.
I'm going to assume For Whom the Bell Tolls was one of them.
I think that might have been one.
That's got to be one of them.
I'm not 100% sure on which songs they picked for their show, but they a few weeks ago it was announced that they had advanced to the finals of their category, which was basically a viewer vote. Like you go and you watch the shows, you cast your vote, and then that band goes on to the finals.
Yeah.
And at that point, at the finals round, Metallica themselves, the band themselves, like Lars and James and the boys, they actually sat down and watched and critiqued all these shows.
Lars and the Boys,
they sat down and they critiqued all these shows. And Metallica themselves chose Eastern New Mexico University as the top winner in their category.
Okay.
That's huge. Not only is that a big accolade for Eastern New Mexico University in itself because it puts them on the nationwide map, but also they won $40,000 to put towards their next show or to put towards upcoming shows.
Okay, cool.
That's awesome.
That's a lot of money.
What a lot of people don't know is when you do a marching show, it's kind of like when you do a play. You have to pay for the rights to perform this, these pieces.
Well, especially if it's music.
Especially if it's music. Not only do you have to pay the royalty rights, but you also have to pay to get the music itself. You have to pay to get the formations. Like a lot of times these formations are already kind of like predetermined, and you have to like pay to get the rights to get these positions set up. So it's not inexpensive to run a marching show, especially in a university area. So this $40,000 is going to be a huge benefit for the Eastern New Mexico University Band. But it's awesome to see that our little school from Port Tales is put on the nationwide map, and Metallica gave a little attention towards us, and that's just, you love to see.
Did they record it?
Yeah, the performance is up on their website. I'll track it down, and as soon as I get a free moment, I will post it up over on...
It's not like behind like a paywall, is it?
No.
Okay.
I'll post it up over on the 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM Facebook page so you guys can check it out for yourself. But yeah, it's an awesome performance. Now, admittedly, watching all these performances, I saw several that I thought deserved the win in even their category. But Eastern did a phenomenal job. From a marching perspective, if you've ever watched or critiqued a marching show, there's certain things that you watch for. Crispness of sets, whether they're able to maintain musicality while, basically jump stepping across a field, as fast as they can to get into their next position.
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes into it, but these are the things that if you're a band that's worth your weight, that you train all year for and you get ready for. I've known
worth your weight in brass.
That's right, worth your weight in tuba. I've known people that have gone to summer, over the summer break, that went to marching camps in Texas at college towns, and they said that at the end of the day they took their shoe off and had their sock was soaked in blood, because that's how committed these people are to marching, to the craft that they pursue. No, it's not a great visual, especially not people are enjoying their bagels in the morning. But these people give their blood, their sweat, and their tears for what they do, and so it's awesome to see that they finally get the flowers that they deserve.
Yeah.
So props to the Eastern New Mexico University.
I'm hearing a lot of that phrase more recently now.
Give them their flowers.
Give them their flowers.
I actually
especially with wrestling.
I heard a YouTuber the other day talking about how he's sick and tired of people saying, "Give them their flowers."
Yeah.
It's who's got all these flowers that they're giving out? But I mean, it's the easiest way to sum up. Yeah, we're giving them the attention and the appreciation that they deserve. So, congratulations to the Eastern New Mexico University Portales Greyhound Band.
I'm just trying to think what kind of songs they would use, because Nothing Else Matters is too slow, Fuel is too fast.
Well, I don't have the show up right offhand. I could track it down. I'll have to find out exactly what songs they did.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Inner Sandman was probably one of them.
Yeah, that's perfect.
But there was usually 3 songs and a drum feature, so it's kind of up in the air. We're not totally sure, but again, congratulations to the Eastern New Mexico University Portales Greyhound Band. I'll get their set posted up on the Facebook page just as soon as I can. But happy Wednesday, welcome to it, and hopefully yours off to a decent start. In case you missed the first portion of this show, Mixmaster Mike Winters will hopefully be back inside your radios sometime this week, if not by next week, when he finally whips RSV in the keister. Let me give you the rundown for this morning's show. We got plenty to get to in today's show. Coming up here in just a few minutes at around 7:15, we have scheduled the Chaves County Federated Republican Women to come in. However, we're not 100% sure if they're going to make it today. It was kind of up in the air whether this show would happen or not, so we kind of weren't sure. But we have scheduled the Chaves County Federated Republican Women, and if not, we'll have a backup there for you as well. Coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, around 8:15 or so, we're going to replay the interview we had with Miss Andrea Moore from the Roswell Chamber of Commerce last week. Mike sat down and chatted with Miss Andrea Moore about all the activities and stuff happening here in southeastern New Mexico and in Chaves County over the next coming months as we gear up for another busy year round Roswell way. We'll dive into that coming up in just a bit. And coming up in the 9 o'clock hour, around 9:15 or so, we have scheduled Bill Williams, the Chaves County manager. We'll be chatting about some interesting things that have come up as chairs get moved, people get promoted, and we need to fill some space. So Bill Williams into chat about that and our options coming up here in just a few minutes. Plus all your other features, which include your Kim Commando update, Sean Hannity update, Town Hall Business Report, and the news, both of the local and national variety. Hey, real quickly, wanted to talk to you about our friends at Big O Tires. It's time to ring in the new year at your locally owned and operated Big O Tires. And now through January 7th, you can save now through January 17th, save $140 on Michelin tires after a mail-in rebate, plus a $25 to $100 on Goodyear tires after mail-in rebate. And Big O Tires, they're more than just tires. They offer service for brakes, batteries, shocks, struts, oil changes, alignments, and more. Stop in now for the Healthy Car Special, just $29.95, including an oil change, alignment, free tire rotation, brake inspection, and more. For, again, just $29.95. Big O Tires wants to keep you safe on the roads. That's why they offer a free multi-point inspection with every service. And Big O Tires offers multiple financing options to suit any situation. Big O Tires, locally owned and operated right here in Roswell. Visit bigotires.com to schedule an appointment or stop in today. It's Big O Tires in Roswell, the team you trust. 18 minutes after 7 o'clock. Let's get you up to date with the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're looking pretty good today. We'll stay a little bit breezy, 20 to 25 miles per hour on that wind. We'll be in the low 60s, though, and we should have plenty of sunshine with high pressure overhead. Low to mid 30s and clear for the overnight hours. And then we have cold front dropping in on Thursday, mid 50s for the afternoon high. Some cloud cover and wind gusting to 45 miles an hour. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 24 degrees around Roswell Way, humidity at about 50%. Winds out of the southeast at around 3 miles an hour. Thank God we haven't had the severe winds we had earlier this week, but they're coming, so batten down the hatches. Looking for sunny skies, 62 for the high today, with winds out of the southwest, 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming northwest later in the afternoon. For tonight, clear skies, 30 for the overnight low. Winds out of the northwest, 5 to 10 miles an hour. And for your Thursday, sunny skies, but windy once again. Highs around 58 degrees. Winds steadily 25 to 35 miles an hour, but wind gusts could get as high as 45 miles an hour for your Thursday. So like I said, batten down the hatches. It's going to be windy, and that wind is pretty cold. Thursday night, mostly cloudy, then gradually mostly clear, around 21 for the overnight low. Winds out of the northwest, 20 to 30 miles an hour, gusts as high as 40 miles an hour. Sunny and 53 for the high on Friday. And then for Friday night, mostly clear, 29 degrees, sunshine, and 64 for your Saturday. Sunny and 56 for the high on Sunday. Hey, Roy, what's happening? How we doing? Because, again, we're doing this whole show on the fly, so there was nobody on the schedule, so we don't know what's happening.
Well, good news, Janine's here.
Oh, okay. So we'll chat with Miss Janine coming up here in just a few minutes with the Chaves County Federated Republican Women on the other side of these. So stick around on a morning without Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. What's the buzz all about? The Honey Depot, Artesia's little store with a whole lot more. You'll find an unbelievable selection of one-of-a-kind gifts and decor. Everything from candles to soaps, books and Bible study journals, home decor, local honey, seasonings, candies, and more. Not to mention a staff that's sweeter than honey. So buzz on in. If you can't find it here, you probably don't need it. Open Tuesday through Friday, 11 to 5:30, Saturdays 10 to 6, closed Sunday and Monday at 104 West Hermosa Drive in Artesia. Shop local. Shop Honey Depot, the little store with a whole lot more.
If you suffer from pogonophobia, you would not want to attend a party with the following people: Kenny Rogers, Santa Claus, Willie Nelson, the cast of Duck Dynasty, and 2/3 of ZZ Top. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning, 21 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Ms. Janine Corbest from the Chaves County Federated Republican Women. How are you doing this morning?
I'm blessed. How are you?
It has been a crazy, crazy week. So the update is that Mike and Kim, his wife, celebrated New Year's with our sales manager, Mr. Thomas Beard, who we later found out had come down with a pretty severe case of RSV.
Oh.
Yeah. And that then transferred to Mike and Kim. Mike's been pretty down and out for the last few days.
I am so sorry. Let's pray that he hopes he gets better.
Absolutely. We saw him,
not good.
We saw him for a few minutes yesterday, and it was pretty rough.
Yeah.
it was real hard for him to breathe. He's coughing all over the place. I had to come in here and kind of Lysol the whole room after he left.
Good for you.
Oh yeah, no. I as soon as he came in, I jumped online and typed RSV possibility of spread, and as soon as I saw that, I'm like, okay, this is very contagious. we're going to spray this bad boy
Lysol,
down.
yeah, Lysol. I love Lysol. I used to call it fairy dust with my kids, and I just sprayed the kids as they walked in the door.
Absolutely. It's great to spray the kids with Lysol, too, because they're extra sticky from activities that happen outside.
Exactly. It works great. It's a win-win.
It adheres to them.
Yeah.
So a new year, a new Chaves County Federated Republican Women. What have you guys been up to?
Well, we haven't been up to much because this is the first month of the year. You know, we had a really good meeting last month. We had a good inspirational speaker and a quartet, and Santa Claus came and visited and all that. This month, we're still at the convention center. We still are able to hold that spot, but the convention center doesn't cook anymore. So we have got Peppers to cater for 6 months. We have a contract 6 months out. So Peppers will be catering all of our meals.
Nice.
So this month's meal is pot roast. We wanted something nice and warm. You know, all of us ladies, we like that. We like to feed these men and make sure they can work and all that.
Even though food.
Yeah, comfort food. And it's winter and it's cold and all that. So it's roast beef, whipped potatoes, green beans, salad rolls, butter, and iced tea. Our first meeting for the year, always the third Wednesday of the month, which is going to be Wednesday the 17th.
Okay.
We do open our doors early at 11:30 because we like people to come and sit and talk and communicate and have a good time and all of that. Our guest speaker this month is going to be Carla Sontag, and I probably butchered her name. She's with the New Mexico Coalition, Better Together New Mexico, Rebound New Mexico. So they work closely with our legislators, which you know, the 17th is when we have our luncheon, but the 16th is when the legislative goes into session.
Back into session, yep.
Back in session. Only a 30-day session. So it's going to be fast and furious this year. Then we will have them, by the time they get done, we'll have them back in March.
Okay.
So I'm not quite sure. Let's see. February, Bill Williams and the Roswell City Manager, Chad Cole, will be our guests.
Very cool.
So we've got everything lined up for the whole year, if you can believe that.
Do you really?
We do.
Now, when do you guys sit down and planogram this whole thing out? Is it like right on January 1st, you sit down and say, okay, let's get the year figured out?
We had it figured out before because it's a very big election year.
Absolutely. This is definitely a vital year. And if you've been paying attention to the news and everything that's been happening, this is going to be one of those years, and we say it every election cycle, but this is the most important election in our nation's history.
Correct.
What happens after this election is going to change America from head to toe, essentially, for the next decade.
It is. And I pray that it's a good one. I pray that everything goes according to order, whatever. So after March, after our legislators, then we start with our candidates.
Okay.
You have to be a Republican to speak at our meetings. We usually have 150 to 200 people at those meetings every month. So it's a good venue to come and talk and inform these folks.
Absolutely.
I mean, we have the best information out there, and we collect it. We come in, we get it to come in. So each month will be certain folks. Of course, you know, June is our primary. So between March and June, it's going to be fast and furious with speakers.
Right.
And then you can come and hobnob with them and rub shoulders with them and talk to them directly. And that's where you get your information, directly in the horse's mouth.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of what we're doing at this point. As you know, the Federated Women, besides that, we have our scholarships. We help our veterans. We send Christmas cards out. We contact them. We help the Assurance Home. You know, we're just a busy organization.
A lot of irons in the fire.
A lot of irons in the fire. We have a lot of men. We have a lot of ladies that help. We have associates, men associates. I believe we're up for this year. Of course, you have to renew every year, like any membership. Cheapest membership around, $35.
Oh, wow. That's for the whole year?
That's for the whole year.
Oh, dang.
$35. You do have to pay for your meal.
Sure.
We did have to go up $1 because we had to cater it in now. So it's $17 a meal.
Okay.
And you can pay at the door. We prefer RSVP, which would be...
Those three letters have just rang in my ears all week. You add a P to it, it's just, okay, it's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Right.
RSVP. So please respond to us so you can get your plate of food.
Yes,
yeah,
right.
There you go. And it's
Respondez-vous pour... I used to know what RSVP stood for. It's French. It's Respondez-vous... Respondez s'il vous plaît. That's what it is.
Okay. Okay,
Basically,
I have no clue.
Please respond.
You know, I was taught as a child and through etiquette classes, it's a necessary thing. I found out in today's world, it's not quite as necessary.
It almost never comes up.
People don't even do it.
And we live in a walk-in society. You know, there's too many places out there that are just, oh, come on in. We'll facilitate you. We'll work around you.
You know, and it's very hard when you put together meals like this every month. You know, you have to have that number for that cook.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it's crazy. Peppers works with us very well. I mean,
Peppers is an awesome restaurant team, and the group they have there, Adam and the whole team. I mean, the way they work with organizations here in Roswell and Travis County, it's second to none. It's absolutely amazing.
They've been working with me a long time. You know, I had the Grace Corn Heritage House years ago, and they were awesome. I mean, they would do it on the flip of a dime if you needed them. They were always there, and they're very local.
Is that the Airbnb now? I drive by it a couple of times a week, and I look at it, I'm like, is that an Airbnb now?
There was an Airbnb on Lee.
Okay.
And that is up for sale now. Mine was the venue, and it's been closed since 2008 because Roswell didn't embrace it.
Yeah.
You know, Roswell needs to embrace some of their small businesses.
You are ahead of our time, I feel like.
You are correct.
If you do it like nowadays, in this day and age, I feel like we'd be ready for it.
You are correct.
Yeah, just a little bit ahead of our time.
I kind of modeled it after the 1960s parties that my parents used to have, and that just didn't work.
The old soirees.
I know. White jackets and black bow ties.
Yeah, you gotta keep it fancy, you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So a busy year, as you mentioned, an election year, lots and lots at stake and lots riding on basically everybody's vote. So, and you guys are, obviously keeping busy with folks.
Yes.
What are some of the things that you hope to accomplish in 2024 at these meetings? What are some of the goals for 2024 that you guys have?
Well, our goals are to get the information out there to the voters. And that's what our goal has mainly always been, other than our scholarships and stuff. You know? But information. You cannot vote if you don't have the information in your head on how you want to go.
Absolutely.
That is just it. And considering we're the largest federated women in the state of New Mexico.
Really?
And we seem to be able to bring in the speakers that can communicate. And that is our main thing. And our ladies love it. This is where they spend their $17 every month is with us. So, and it's nice to know that we have return customers, if you want to call it that. But let's see, president election, we'll hear from the Republican candidates running for CD1, CD2, CD3. So this is all of your senators and House folks that are they're kind of shuffling this year.
And that's what a lot of people forget is, yes, the presidential election is a big deal, but these lower offices, these, the House, the Senate, even on the local level, your comptrollers, these are the things that affect us, on the local level.
Yes.
So these are the races and the elections that you really need to pay attention to.
Yes, and like I said, they're shuffling this year. A lot of these folks have been in the House, and now they're moving up to the Senate. It's just they've done their time down here. They've learned. They've educated themselves. They know that they need to step up the next level. And like you said, it's your home-based folks that need that information, and that's how you get it. Is you come and you hobnob with us. There's no other club that brings these folks in all in one place. We are in. They don't even bring them to some of the other meetings because the other meetings are at night.
Yeah.
And they just can't drive down from Albuquerque and Santa Fe. They come in specifically for this luncheon.
And as you mentioned, folks moving up to that next level. We're going to be chatting with Bill Williams later on this morning, all about or mostly about Greg Nybert's seat as he moves up to the Senate. I believe seat 59 will be open.
Correct.
And
they've got 1 week to present someone to the governor.
1 week.
Yes, they have. They will interview. I think they're interviewing folks today that are running for that. They have 1 week before they have to present the governor with who they suggest to go into that seat. And it's 5 counties that can suggest that.
Okay. That's amazing to me how the governmental process moves slower than molasses uphill. And yet sometimes they put these deadlines, these like random deadlines on you so fast, and you're like, oh, it's head turning.
Well, and this was probably a political move.
Oh, of course.
I have a real problem with politics at this level because to me it's all about the citizens, and it's not working that way in the last 2 years. But I have a beef, but that's okay.
It does seem like it's more now than in like a decade past.
Correct.
That local politicians' political affiliations seem to take the center stage, and that's very odd.
It bothers me because this is about your public.
Exactly.
You know, I get it. Politics up high. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I stayed low. You have to play the politics to get in the position you're in.
Sure.
But it's about the citizens.
That's right. Yeah.
And you wake up every day and you communicate with your citizens that, you know, you take the phone calls, you go to the meetings. It doesn't have to do with political, but
Right.
they're making it political. So
it's
play the game.
I think it's easier to lean towards the political affiliation side of things than it is to, you know, put your entire campaign on, you know, local issues and local values.
Mm-hmm.
People don't really pay that much attention to that. We're looking for sensationalism nowadays.
Correct.
Is,
big splashes. And I'm not a big splash person. I like to be that foundation.
Exactly. I literally had the thought today. I was like, you know, I get kind of bummed about, you know, the situation that I find myself in. I have a roof over my head. I'm warm. I got food. Things are good.
Exactly.
You know, my kids are taken care
blessed.
of. Yeah, exactly.
I can help people along the way that are walking down the street if they need it. But they also have to respect me.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's where I come across some of the problems because you help them and they don't help you or they don't reciprocate.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my problem, I guess. I don't know.
Sure. No, I agree 100%. So what are some of the we talked about the election year. We talked about how, you know, it's kind of a transitional year. What are some of the local issues that the politicians here on a local level are looking to tackle in 2024?
You know what? I haven't talked to any of them. I'm so busy getting the food together and getting everything lined out for the ladies that I haven't really sat down and talked to them. I'm sure, of course, always agriculture in my world.
Of course.
You know, that's just where it is in my world.
Mm-hmm.
But I really don't. You threw me a question. I don't know. That's where Joan and them have to come in, and I don't see anybody here.
But that's why we come to the meetings, so we can get informed, so we can find out about the agendas and what's planned for 2024. Because like we said, it's going to be one of those years that is absolutely a history maker.
Correct.
So to speak. So,
correct. And I'm sure it's all, you know, I'm sure it has to do with gun control
Sure.
and the public safety is the main thing, and education and stuff. It's usually, politicians always usually hit the same MO.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but it's here that you need to care about. And then you need to find out where their heart is. And that's where you can come and talk to them personally.
That's right. So come to these meetings. Let's be a part of it, you know.
And we're only an hour. We don't go over an hour. So you can come in, sit down, eat your meal, talk to them, and be back at work by 1.
Look at that. That's an all-in-one little package.
All in one little package.
So the first meeting of the year is coming up on January 17th.
Correct.
And that's going to be, you said, at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center.
Correct.
Absolutely. Again, catered by Peppers, and this is for the first half of the year.
First half of the year till July.
Awesome. Now, if folks want to RSVP, if they want to find out more information from you.
Would love them to. It's 575-420-8455. That's my number. I don't say hello. I say my name because, you know, if you say your name, the paid people don't answer. They usually hang up. So if I sound like I'm barking, I probably am, but don't take it seriously.
I've found if you answer in a different language, a lot of times they'll just hang right up.
They will.
Hola?
Yeah.
Hola?
Unless they speak that language.
Yeah, then you're really
in trouble.
Like, I'm going to level with you here. I was just trying to get out of the call. The one I actually have encountered yesterday, this is very interesting. Have you ever encountered a robocall that answers you?
Yes.
It's off-putting. Like, I was like, hello, and they're like, hi, we're calling for such and such. I'm like, as soon as they stopped talking, I said, are you a robot? They said, okay, so what we're here to, I'm like,
exactly.
And click.
And they can't pronounce Janine. If they cannot pronounce Janine, you know that it's a total mess up. They don't know you.
I ran into that with AI yesterday. I was trying to get an AI voice to say my name, and I had to misspell my own name to get it to pronounce it right.
Exactly.
It pronounced my name Seen Smalls. I'm like, no. SHAWN, fine. We'll spell it the wrong way.
So AI in the country world is artificial insemination. So I'm still having a hard time with the AI artificial insemination and AI artificial intelligence.
I completely, you know what? Very different processes.
Exactly.
Very different processes.
Exactly.
So you're going to be careful which one you identify.
Exactly. When you sit there and watch the TV and the news, you're going, wait, that doesn't make sense. But then
one involves a glove that comes down to here.
Exactly.
Which, if you've ever watched any, like, in that process,
Exactly.
you can't unsee certain things in life.
Exactly.
That's one of those things.
Exactly.
So again, the first meeting on the 17th, that's going to be happening at the Roswell Convention Civic Center. Who's the speaker again?
Our speaker is Carla Sontag with New Mexico Business Coalition, Better Together New Mexico, Rebound New Mexico. And they work very closely with our Republican legislators to get all the information out that needs to be getting out.
Very good.
February is the city manager and the county manager together. So that ought to be a good one too. Hopefully we can figure out what's going on for the citizens in the county and the city, not the politicians.
And hopefully we'll have a little clearer picture on who our candidate's going to be and then how that's going to go moving forward.
And we can announce those if they've got that announced.
Sure.
Yeah.
So a busy year. And like we said, this is one you want to be tuned into.
Yes.
Definitely.
Get all the information you can. The more information, the better choice you can make at the polls.
That's right. It's one of those things. I encounter this every single time I go to the poll. I'm inundated with information.
Yes.
You're going to get it, nonstop from all different sides all year long. Everybody's going to tell you why the other person is wrong. But then when you're at the poll, you got all these different voices just bouncing around in your head, and these choices are laid out in front of you. That's when you have to be informed. You have to know what you're voting for based on your personal beliefs.
And you're right. It's you. It's not your spouse. It's not your kid. It's not the news. It's you. And you need to go in, and there's always free rides with the city to go in and put your vote down in person. Because who knows? We know our county clerk is perfect and great in this county, but who knows what's going to happen? You want your vote to be secure and safe.
Right.
You vote there, you stick it in the machine, and those machines are not connected to the internet as far as I know when they are in that room.
Right.
So they're not interfered with.
Right. The eye roll when you said they're not interfered. And we assume that they're not.
Correct.
But go in informed, make the right decision. I've been talking with my friends about this recently. With the poll numbers, especially for the local and the smaller elections, being at record lows, it seems like for the last few years, you really want to bolster those numbers at the poll. I already know how. I know exactly how to do it. It's a simple solution. Serve hot dogs. If you just serve hot dogs and Pepsi products, that's how we get half the people coming to our remotes, is we're slinging hot dogs. So if you just set up a guy at the door, cast your vote, get a hot dog and a soda. I'm just saying.
But that has to be 100 yards off?
Sure. Okay, so 100 yards away. Soda and a hot dog. I'm just saying, people will show up.
That's a good thought.
Yeah.
Are you buying the hot dogs?
I'll supply, sure. I know a guy. I know a guy in the Frankfurter business. So again, if you want to RSVP or want more information, you can call. It's 575-420-8455.
Correct. That is my number, and I will answer. I always answer.
And if folks want more information, besides the phone number, do you guys have Facebook
There's a
page?
website. There is a website, Federated Women, New Mexico, Chavez County Federated.
Now for your Pecos Valley News update, I'm Jared Sorello. If Eddy County officials get their wish, the county will soon embark on building a brand new courthouse. The current Eddy County Courthouse in Carlsbad is now 110 years old this year. The county is asking state lawmakers to approve $20 million for the courthouse project. This would be the second year in a row that Eddy County has asked for the funding. The 2023 request was rejected and split between several other counties, including Bernalillo. A reminder that the city of Artesia has scheduled a public meeting to allow residents to offer input on the city's comprehensive plan. The meeting on Wednesday, January 10th, will be from 6 to 7:30 at the Artesia Center, 612 North 8th Street. A presentation will be given on the results of the community survey, draft goals and objectives, and alternative future land use scenarios. Goals and objectives will address land use, community character, economic development, housing and neighborhoods, and several other subjects. For more details, visit artesiacomprehensiveplan.com. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
Question for you. What's dirtier, your desk or your toilet seat? The answer, the average desk contains 400 more germs than a toilet seat. Gross. I'm Kim Commando with tips to get rid of nasty bacteria without damaging your tech. First, let's put it out there. Your entire office is a playground of filth. Your mouse is a hotspot with nearly 1,700 germs calling it home. To clean it, gently wipe it down with a disinfectant wipe. Make sure that the wipe isn't too wet. You don't want any liquid seeping inside. Move into your keyboard, which usually hosts up to 3,000 germs. Turn this one upside down and give it a gentle shake to get rid of crumbs and debris. Then use a soft, lint-free cloth with isopropyl alcohol. This way it'll disinfect it without harming the keys. And last up, the office phone, a bacteria magnet with about 25,000 germs. Your smartphone is about the same, just nasty. Use a microfiber cloth and a mix of water and mild soap. Get my free newsletter at getkim.com. You have a lot of places to get your tech news. I know that. But there's only one website that tells you what the tech news means to you, and that's my site, Commando.com. Every day, you'll find breaking tech news, security alerts, along with really useful tips and product reviews. Tens of millions of people just like you visit my site, and I'd love for you to become a regular. I bet you learn one great thing each day at Commando.com. And at my site, you also get early access to my USA Today columns, too. And to make things easier on your busy life, sign up for my free newsletters that get delivered right to your inbox. You can pick and choose what you're interested in, whether that's smartphones or smart homes, Windows or Mac. And this way, you only get the know-how that you want. And I'll never, ever send you spam because I value you and your inbox. At Commando.com, there are links at the top of the page to get my free newsletters. And also, send me a personal message. Go now while you're thinking about it. That's Commando.com, Komando.com.
Mulan has the highest kill count of any Disney character. When asked for comment, Buzz Lightyear responded, "To infinity and beyond." Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. 12 minutes after 8 o'clock, or after 12 minutes away from 8 o'clock. There it is on a Wednesday morning without Mike Winters. Boy, one man leaves the office and all of a sudden I just don't even know how to talk anymore. Anyways, let's get you up to date with the local weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're looking pretty good today. We'll stay a little bit breezy, 20 to 25 miles per hour on that wind. We'll be in the low 60s, though, and we should have plenty of sunshine with high pressure overhead. Low to mid 30s and clear for the overnight hours. And then we have cold front dropping in on Thursday, mid 50s for the afternoon high. Some cloud cover and wind gusting to 45 miles an hour. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 25 degrees around Roswell Way. Humidity is sitting at 50%. Winds out of the west at around 3 miles an hour. Becoming southeast later in the morning. Barometer at 29.75 inches with a dew point of 8 degrees. Looking at 62 for the high under mostly sunny skies for the rest of today. Wind's going to be calm, 5 to 10 miles an hour, gusting possibly 15 to 20 later in the afternoon. For tonight, clear skies, dipping down to a low of around 30 degrees, winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Tomorrow, though, batten down the hatches. You might want to bring in all the plants and the pets that don't like cold wind because it's going to be blowy tomorrow. Increasing clouds, 58 degrees for the high. Like I said, windy. The wind 10 to 20 miles an hour, increasing to 20 to 30 in the afternoon. And gusts could get as high as 45, but sustained winds of 15 to 25 miles an hour pretty much all afternoon. For your Thursday night, mostly cloudy during the early evening, then gradually clearing with a low of around 21 degrees. It's going to be windy. Again, winds northwest 20 to 30 miles an hour, gusting as high as 40 miles an hour. And as Ron White once said, it's not that the wind is blowing, it's what the wind is blowing. So watch out for tumbleweeds and whatnot. Sunny skies, 53 for the high on Friday. Winds 10 to 15 miles an hour coming out of the west. For your Friday night, mostly clear and dropping down to a low of 29 degrees. Saturday, 64 and mostly sunny skies. And then for your Saturday night, partly cloudy, 31. For Sunday, mostly sunny and 56 degrees for the high. Actually pretty excited. I just found out yesterday, my boy Sundance Head coming back to town. Going to be performing at the Liberty this Saturday. Tickets on sale, by the way, at thelibertyinc.com. Free plug. But I'm going to be there. Enjoying myself. This time Sundance bringing the whole band, so it's going to be an amazing show. Just kind of on a personal note, if you're not familiar with Sundance Head, look him up online. Just do yourself a favor, look him up online. The man's got a voice like Chris Stapleton, but an approachability like any of these red dirt artists that come through Roswell. So it's just, you have an ability to kind of, get in on the ground level of just a country music superstar. He's going to be at the Liberty this coming Saturday. Again, free plug, but I don't care. I'm not getting paid extra for this morning. 9 minutes away from 8 o'clock. Let's pause and get you up to date with your Chavez County Sports Report, brought to you by DSI.
In a time where humans and technology collide, ineffective technology plagues our businesses, schools, and healthcare environments. DSI Document Solutions has emerged. In a time where humans and technology collide, ineffective technology plagues our businesses, schools, and healthcare environments. DSI Document Solutions has emerged as New Mexico's safeguard from the pains of slowed productivity, providing our nation's top business technology, workflow strategy. In a time where humans and technology collide, ineffective technology plagues our businesses, schools, and healthcare environments. DSI Document Solutions has emerged as New Mexico's safeguard from the pains of slowed productivity, providing our nation's top business technology, workflow strategies, and support. DSI is here to boost your productivity and reduce your costs. Get ready for success. Visit our new website at dsinm.com.
Office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
Thanks, Eric. 7 minutes away from 8 o'clock on a Wednesday morning without Mike Winters. In case you missed the news earlier this morning, Mike and his wife, sadly, earlier this week coming down with a pretty bad case of RSV. And rudely, it didn't even RSVP. I mean, you'd think if you're going to share that many letters, you'd at least let somebody know that you're coming. But it hit him out of nowhere, essentially. And he's going to be. He was out for most of this week. He was out today. We're still kind of gauging things minute by minute, trying to see how he's feeling. If he's ready to come back to you, if he's at full voice. But in the meantime, you got your boy Sean Smalls. Let's dive into the Wall Street Business Report.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. U.S. banking giants are expected this week to report lower profits for the fourth quarter after they set money aside to cover souring loans while also paying more to depositors. The largest banks' net interest income, or the difference between what they earn on loans and pay out on deposits, probably fell on average 10% in the fourth quarter. The new head of the Federal Aviation Administration is set to appear next month before Congress as the agency faces questions on its oversight of plane maker Boeing following the emergency landing on Friday of a 737 MAX 9 jetliner. Mike Whitaker, who took over as the agency's head in late October, will testify before the U.S. House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee. The U.S. Department of Labor on Tuesday issued a final rule that will force companies to treat some workers as employees rather than less expensive independent contractors. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Hey, this is Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing. Every storm chaser's worst nightmare. You know storm chasers, those out-of-town roofers that descend on neighborhoods after big storms. They come in, do a crummy job, then poof, they're gone forever. Well, a few years ago, our area had a hailstorm, and right on cue, storm chasers showed up. I was driving home from work one evening and saw one talking to an elderly lady on her porch. I said, "Not today, buddy." I did a U-turn, pulled in the driveway, and walked right up to them. I warned the woman who they were talking to, and I chased away the storm chaser. The woman's daughter called me later and said a storm chaser ripped them off a few years ago. She thanked me for stopping this one and chose Trustmark for her roof. Trustmark Roofing. Every storm chaser's nightmare. Every homeowner's champion. Call today for your 20% off coupon for our spring and roof gutter maintenance service. 575-755-ROOF. Or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first. Fall time is almost here, and the holidays will be here before you know it. The Calico Cow invites you to move on into the cow and check out the new holiday fabrics arriving daily and take advantage of a huge sale on Brothers sewing machines now through the end of the year. Get free lessons, maintenance, and a first-year cleaning included. Fall into savings at the Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop, now at their new location, 200 East College in Roswell. Want to know how? Come see the cow.
Score a touchdown at your next tailgate with La Poblanita Party Tostadas. The perfect chip with the most satisfying crunch in the game. Flavored just right with El Charro's signature seasoning. It's the dippable chip that bites back. Make game night a winner with the chips everybody talks about. The chips that make bland salsas better and good salsas great. Snag a bag of La Poblanita Party Tostadas at your local grocery stores all over southeastern New Mexico. And get the party started with La Poblanita Party Tostadas by El Charro. They're all that and a bag of chips.
Your fingernails grow faster on your dominant hand. Not sure which is your dominant hand? Just wait. You'll nail it. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning, 3 minutes away from 8 o'clock on a morning without Mike Winters. In case you missed any portion of today's program, you can always go back and watch it in its entirety over at ksvptv.com. That's where you'll find mornings with or without Mike Winters. And once we're wrapped up this morning, our boy Roy will be piecemealing it up and putting up a la carte for you across all of our social media there on Facebook and whatnot. Hey, the Roswell Adult Center's got something coming up later this month that is going to take you all the way back to a simpler time, way back to the 80s. It's really kind of upsetting when you think about how far back that actually is. I tend to think of things in perspective of the 70s, because that was the decade that I didn't get to experience, again, born in 84, so I tend to think of things from the 70s. So in 2024, we are just as far away from the 90s as we were in the 90s from the 60s. What? Yeah, so let that sink in. But coming up Friday, January 19th from 7 to 10 p.m., we're going back to the 80s at the Roswell Adult Center. It's $5 per participant, and you can wear skates. You don't have to, but if you want to skate, that is going to be open to you. And you have to be 18 years of age or older, i.e. an adult. You can enjoy skating and dancing or just hanging out and socializing. It's going to be a gnarly, awesome, tubular, radical kind of night. So bring your friends, tell your family. It's going down January 19th, 7 to 10 p.m. at the Roswell Adult Center, 807 North Missouri. And you can find the Roswell Adult Center on Facebook for more information about that. But take it back to the 80s with or without skates, Friday, January 19th, 7 to 10 p.m. at the Roswell Adult Center, 807 North Missouri. Gag me with a spoon. It's going to be such a good time. It's very, I mean, you look at kids today and the slang they have. Now, I know it's easy to rip on bruh and stuff like that, but you have to remember, we come from an era and a generation that had the weasel. We talk about like grinding on my nervage and all that weird stuff that he used to say. Yeah, the weasel definitely had some very odd vocabulary. It's really hard to hate on the kids today when we come from the era and the decade of Pauly Shore. We'll be back on the other side of these on a morning without Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Talk radio has landed on the all-new 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Greg Clugston in Washington. The Biden administration is facing tough questions about why Defense Secretary Austin kept proper authorities, including President Biden, in the dark about his cancer diagnosis and secretive hospital stay for several days. Pentagon spokesman Major General Patrick Ryder says the Defense Department will conduct a 30-day review.
We want to make sure that notifications are happening in a timely way, and in this way, as we've acknowledged, there were some shortfalls, and so it's important that we go back and look at what those shortfalls were, what could have been done better, and make sure that going forward we're improving those processes.
Meanwhile, at the White House, the Chief of Staff has ordered a government-wide review of what protocols are in place to prevent such communication failures. A major storm has drenched the Northeast and slammed it with fierce winds, knocking out power to hundreds of thousands. Mark Wool at the National Weather Service says it's part of a system that caused tornado damage in parts of the South.
There's several RVs and mobile homes that were tossed. on other sides are rolled in parts of Jackson County, Florida. I've seen significant damage at Panama City Beach.
There's also heavy snowfall in the central U.S. and Midwestern states. The House Oversight and Judiciary Committees today will consider a resolution recommending presidential son Hunter Biden be held in contempt of Congress for defying a congressional subpoena.
If the contempt resolution clears the committees, it would be referred to the full House for a vote. If the House floor vote succeeds, the Department of Justice would ultimately determine whether to prosecute the president's son for evading a congressional subpoena. The Department of Justice is already pursuing 2 criminal cases against Hunter Biden.
That report from correspondent Edwin Mora. Early on Wall Street, stock prices mixed. More at townhall.com.
Urgent Camp Lejeune settlement message.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Senator Joni Ernst says many Americans will be looking for new leadership this fall.
We have had an incredibly weak president with President Biden, and we just see the world imploding around us because of that weak leadership.
She says new leadership means not only a presidential candidate, but also a running mate and key advisors.
It will help them understand that this is going to be a solid administration.
Ernst says what she calls President Biden's weak leadership has been seen in his selections for cabinet and other key positions in the administration. Bob Agnew reporting.
Donald Trump claims the president has to have immunity, but federal appeals court judges in Washington are expressing deep skepticism that he is immune from prosecution on charges of trying to overturn the 2020 election. News and analysis at townhall.com. There's potential unrest brewing in the Balkans.
The United States warns that ongoing celebrations of a Bosnian Serb self-proclaimed national holiday violate Bosnia's constitution and a 1995 peace agreement. The U.S. Embassy in Sarajevo urged Bosnia's legal authorities to investigate any violations of law related to the marking of January 9th as the Day of the Republika Srpska entity. That's what the part of Bosnia run by ethnic Serbs is called. The holiday commemorates the day in 1992 when Bosnian Serbs declared the creation of their own state in Bosnia, igniting a devastating 4-year war. Bosnian Serbs on Tuesday defied international criticism, staging a parade of armed troops. Keith Peters reporting.
China is being accused of using military threats, diplomatic pressure, and fake news in a broad strategy to influence voters in Taiwan's elections to pick candidates who favor unification. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
Sorry, the deuce.
Of A Morning Without Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. I probably should have cued your mic until you sat down, but...
I just sat down and all of a sudden I had to burp.
We embrace it. I don't know what it is about this room. It's very gas-inducing. I mean, belch-inducing. For some reason, especially in this chair. I almost never get it when I'm sitting over in the second banana chair. But when I'm over here in the captain's seat, just like how Mike has tended to talk through his burps, I've had to do that 3 times today. And we're barely starting hour number 2, the deuce. So I think it's something to do with the chair.
I've been drinking tea, so that's probably what.
Maybe it's the altitude. I don't know. I'm not up this high all the time. Usually I'm down on ground level terra firma. But yes, Mixmaster Mike Winters out this week. Hopefully he'll be back tomorrow. We've actually been incommunicado with Mike this morning. And he says hopefully he'll be feeling up to being back in the captain's chair tomorrow morning. If not, though, we do have contingencies in place. We're going to make sure that we take care of you guys and we take care of Mixmaster Mike as well. But get well soon, Mike. We are definitely praying for you. Thoughts and prayers. And, of course, now the entirety of the Chaves County Federated Republican Women also praying for you as well. Like I said, a busy week and a busy start to 2024. This is going to be a roller coaster of a year. Did you see the story of the guy? I think it was either in Florida or Georgia. It was somewhere around there that for some reason, I can't figure out exactly what, well, I guess I can. It was alcohol. Decided to, during a party,
it was Florida,
climb into a vase. Did you see this guy?
A vase?
Yeah. So there was it's like one of those
a flower
big,
vase?
like a flower vase. It's like one of those big ones, that holds like the trees, like a terracotta vase. This guy decided to climb in and get himself wedged down. He squatted down in the vase. And the footage that's been released is some of the funniest things I've seen all year, but it's
kind of like a cat.
Kinda, but basically he squatted down in this gigantic vase, and he got his knees wedged and his keister wedged in such a way that he could not get out.
Well, yeah.
And so it's basically him just trying to shimmy his way out, and people are all it's. I'll have to find the footage and post it up over the Facebook page. It is so, because I can't play it here. It's riddled with obscenities. But this guy in this very that voice that's very southern but very also high pitched and kind of lispy.
Yeah.
He has one of those voices. He's like, I'm just gonna be stuck in here. You're gonna have to break me out. But it's just so funny to watch this dude. I mean,
the Christy knows best.
Pretty drunkenly struggle to get out of this vase, and eventually they had to. And the whole thing was the restaurant that they were at didn't want to break the vase because obviously those are expensive. So I'm not getting out of this thing. You're just gonna have to break me out of it. And so then they come up with a hammer and a screwdriver to chisel him out of this vase. Which, I'm sorry, why are you being so gentle? That dude made a keister of himself by climbing into that vase. What you should do is get 3 people to pick up the vase and drop it. Yeah, it'll probably mess the guy's back up a little bit, but you know what? He deserves it for getting himself stuck into a vase.
I was going to say just turn it upside down and shake him out.
Right? Just give it a good shake. But yeah, the footage, I'll track it down. Do we have a guest this hour? Huh. I'll track it down and see if I can't post it up for you because it is absolutely hilarious. Definitely worth the price of admission as far as that goes. Well, I was going to replay an interview, but we may have a guest this hour, so we're going to hold off on making the announcement of the rundown for just a few moments. But I do want to let you know that the class Tai Chi for Arthritis and Fall Prevention, they have a class coming up January 11th, which is tomorrow. That class is it's a drop-in class. It is $10. You can prepay for classes for the month. It's only $8. And Tai Chi is basically just a great way to increase your muscle tone, strengthening your joints and muscles, creates peaceful life tools, and improves mental and physical balance, creating freer breathing practices, also helping with rehabilitation needs, improving sleep, and a whole lot more. That class going to be happening at the Salvation Army is where that class happens, and Miss Manchego is the lady to run that class. If you want more information, call 575-626-7150. That's 575-626-7150. Or visit TaiChiForHealthInstitute.org or USTCC.org. Is that a guess?
No.
Okay, just making sure. So that being said, let me give you the rundown for this hour of the program. You got some?
Oh, no.
Oh, it sounded like you had something to say.
Oh, okay.
Well, coming up here in just a few minutes, around 8:15 or so, we're going to replay the interview that Mike had with Miss Andrea Moore from the Roswell Chamber of Commerce last week. A couple of details about stuff happening this weekend. Kind of ignore that, but it's mostly about the goals for the chamber in 2024. We'll be replaying that interview coming up here in just a few minutes at around 8:15 or so. Plus your other hourly features, which include your Travis County Sports Report, your local and national news, business update, and all that other fun.
Is that a long one that we got to get into?
About 33 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Why? You got something to say?
Oh, I was just going to say something about 2024.
Oh, go ahead.
Because, well, okay, so one thing I'm really sick and tired of seeing now
is people getting their flowers. We've already established this, Roy.
No,
go ahead.
There's these like AI pictures. And it's like, what if Pixar made a movie about something offensive?
I have been seeing a lot of those.
And it's like, yeah, and it's like, I think every time something happens now, they make a new one. It's like,
did you see the one where I can't remember what it was, but it was basically, I think it was just called The Couch. And it was the woman sitting on the casting couch with all the guys standing behind. That one's pretty funny.
Yeah, there's one about the plane to the island and stuff.
The one that I saw that also made me laugh, I think it was called Jump Seat. It was the one about, remember the guy who was in the jump seat of the plane and he was on mushrooms or whatever, and he tried to take over the controls of the flight.
Yeah.
It happened a few months back. But the Pixar movie poster was just called Jump Seat.
Yeah.
I kind of love those.
Honestly,
I have a problem with most AI because it's so just uncanny valley for me. And I can always tell when it's AI. Because the background is dark and weirdly orange.
Yeah.
Like you're standing in front of a field of ashes or of like fire or something. I just don't like AI pictures in general. But those, I can get behind those.
Yeah.
Because they're cartoons and it's not as uncanny valley. The one that's been bugging me, and I've seen it a couple of times, there's a trend on TikTok where people are taking a picture of just their eye.
Yeah.
And then zooming, like letting AI zoom the camera out to paint the picture of everything else that's behind him.
Yeah.
Have you seen those?
No, I haven't, but I can imagine.
There's a guy, it starts with his eye, and then it zooms out, and he's all of a sudden a girl with like blonde hair and one of those like fancy hats, but sideways. And then it zooms out again. He's holding a white horse standing on what looks like a train track, but then it keeps backing up, and it's a train track with no tracks. So it's just like two lines and then some it's very off-putting.
Okay, so it's like an AI video kind of.
Yeah, it's hard to explain in audio form.
But that joke has gotten like so old to me now. Like it was funny for the first time.
Yeah, but I can appreciate it because it's taking all these really serious situations and kind of kidifying them a little bit. Plus, I think I have a weird soft spot for Pixar style animation.
Yeah,
like that, just kind of softer, rounder edges. I'm a sucker for that kind of animation. So when I see it, I kind of enjoy it. Plus, some of those I feel like would have totally worked as a movie. Like when I see those posters, I'm like, I'd watch Jump Seat. That would have been a fun movie to watch,
Well, there's one called Postal.
Oh, God. I can only imagine what that one's about. If you don't know what we're talking about, we'll try to find some examples for you to post them up. I keep saying I'm going to put stuff up on the Facebook page. I haven't done any of that yet. I'm going to get to it, I promise.
I mean, I can do it.
Well, there you go. Go post it up for us. 15 minutes after 8 o'clock. Let's pause and get you up to date with the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're looking pretty good today. We'll stay a little bit breezy, 20 to 25 miles per hour on that wind. We'll be in the low 60s, though, and we should have plenty of sunshine with high pressure overhead. Low to mid 30s and clear for the overnight hours. And then we have cold front dropping in on Thursday, mid 50s for the afternoon high. Some cloud cover and wind gusting to 45 miles an hour. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Pro tip: don't start chewing ice when you know you have to talk in 15 seconds. Just Tip from a pro. 27 degrees currently around Roswell Way with a humidity about 46%. Winds out of the southeast at around 6 miles an hour. Barometer at 29.79 inches with the dew point at 9 degrees. Today, mostly sunny skies. 62 for the high. Wind's going to be calm, 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming south later in the day. For tonight, clear skies, dropping down to about 30 degrees. Winds out of the southwest, 5 to 10 miles an hour. For your Thursday, increasing clouds, winds at around 15 to 25, increasing between 25 and 35, and gusts as high as 45, with a high of around 58 for your Thursday. Mostly cloudy in the early evening, then gradually clearing, dropping down to a low of around 21 degrees. Going to be bitter cold on Thursday night. Winds out of the northwest, 20 to 30 miles an hour, increasing to between 35 and 40 miles an hour, sustained overnight. So very cold and very, very windy. Enjoy. Sunny skies, 53 for your Friday. Winds out of the west, 10 to 15 miles an hour for your Friday night. Mostly clear, dropping down to 29 degrees. Saturday, sunny skies and 64 for the high, 56 for the high on Sunday. For your Martin Luther King Day, mostly sunny and a high of 34 degrees. Now, I'm no expert on this, but I'm pretty sure that the kids are going to be off again this coming Monday. I think because of Martin Luther King Day, which means their entire winter break, plus Monday off for in-service, come back for just a few days, and then you get another 3-day weekend. Boy, kids got it good these days. Man. 17 minutes after 8 o'clock, going to pause, pay a couple of these bills, and after this, going to replay the interview that Mike had with Miss Andrea Moore from the Roswell Chamber of Commerce. That's coming up in just a few minutes on A Morning Without Mike Winters. Stay tuned.
I read a quote once that said, "When you blame others, you give up your power to change." Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage.
We all want to play the victim at times. It even feels good to feel sorry for ourselves. But that puts a lid on our life. It stunts our growth, it damages our marriages, and if you have children, it can even hurt them.
It can seem like a daunting task to take responsibility for our actions. But the Bible says in Philippians 4:13, we can do everything through Christ who gives us strength.
If you've never experienced the love of God, then you don't know your true potential and don't realize how good God is. When you're feeling like a victim, turn to God. He'll give you the strength to move beyond yourself and help you have a victorious marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
Foot and ankle problems are often agonizing, but they don't have to be. At Artesia General Hospital, we're passionate about helping every patient return to optimal mobility with confidence and comfort. Our board-certified podiatrists, Dr. Jennifer Chow and Dr. Michael Krupa, provide a full spectrum of services ranging from routine foot care and pain relief to customized treatment plans and leading-edge surgeries. Visit artesiageneral.com/footcare to request your appointment today.
The average American spends 2.5 days a year looking for lost items. We aren't sure how long Europeans and Asians look for lost stuff. We lost the list. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 18 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us now officially in the studio from the Roswell Chamber of Commerce, Andrea Moore, director, back with us. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Anytime. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Merry belated Christmas.
Yeah. Well, I know, of course, the Chamber did kind of take a little holiday siesta there.
We did.
But we're back open and ready for 2024.
Absolutely.
And kind of hit the ground running with all the events and things that are coming up here.
In fact, today, this afternoon at 11:30, our chat with Chavis County will be happening at the chamber. So come on down, even if you haven't RSVP'd. We'll make sure we have plenty of food for everybody.
Good deal, yeah.
And
is Bill Williams going to be the?
He is, and in fact, he also is going to be bringing the finance director and the grant writer for the county. So if you have any questions, please come on down to the Chamber of Commerce today at 11:30.
Sure.
We give you lunch on us, and then you can ask questions of all the things that are going on within the county.
And then, of course, obviously with the finance director and the grant writer, they're going to steer a little bit towards the money side of things. So if you got money-related questions or grant, obviously, put it this way. If you have a skilled grant writer, that's a skill that can go anywhere with you because grant writing is very meticulous, very...
it's very technical. I've written a handful of grants for different organizations in my lifetime, and they're pretty specific. You can't just write, I need money because you have to be very specific, very methodical.
And even if your organization is very, very worthy of the money, if that grant isn't written correctly or it wasn't done to their specifications, even if the cause is so worthy, you're out.
Oh, absolutely.
You're out. So that grant writer, a person that knows how to dot the I's and cross the T's and make a grant perfect, that is a great skill.
They are worth their weight in gold.
This person might just be someone you want to listen to because they probably have some good tips, especially if you're a grant writer out there or wanting to be one and you're wanting to know the ins and outs of that. This might be a good person's brain to pick.
Yeah. So come on down. Please come on down. Because we're starting the new year off running. And then next week starts all of our Tuesday programming up again. And we have moved our Good Morning Roswell to Good Afternoon Roswell. Yeah. We just started to notice that people since COVID would rather come for lunch than have a breakfast. So next week is Good Afternoon Roswell. So the city manager and our city officials will be on hand. And of course, we have 4 brand new city councilors. So I'm in the works of trying to get them to come on down so everybody can be introduced to our new city councilors and get their thoughts and opinions on going forward.
Sworn in and official now, I think now. So.
On Monday.
Yeah, Monday. Yep. So you'll probably get to meet some of those throughout the course of the lunches with the city here now. So, but I'm guessing this next one probably some of the department heads and things like that too. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, that's, those are great because it's kind of like last hour we were talking with Tracy and Hope from the Adult Center, and these are those opportunities to learn that there's how much things are available in the city and what's
there really
going on.
Is, and so many people complain there's nothing to do. There really is a lot to do in Roswell. There really is.
Absolutely.
And one of the things that I have been working on since I've taken over at the chamber is having a true community calendar. And if you've got an event in Roswell and Chaves County, contact us. Let us know. We will put everything on the calendar because
whether you're a chamber member or not.
Correct.
Yeah,
don't
think you have to be a chamber member. Now, if you're a chamber member, you better be taking advantage of us and calling and putting your stuff on there.
There's so many more things that we can do for you.
Yeah.
But one of our things that we provide for the entire community is a community calendar. We put all the plays that are going on with Way Off Broadway, with the Community Little Theater. Of course, we have all the meetings for the county commission, school board, city council, all the different committees. So those are the basics that we started with. And then as other organizations contact us, let us know.
Absolutely.
If you're doing a trash pickup event, tomorrow from 3 to 4, let me know. I'll put it on there.
Especially if it's community-based event stuff, where it's benefiting for the public or something for the public's benefit. And please let us know, like you said, for those cleanup days.
Anything. Absolutely anything. Now, of course, if it's a little less family friendly, we are probably not going to put those types of events, but we'll put everything on, because I would rather somebody go and check out our community calendar and go, oh my goodness, there's 25 things to do today.
But if your church or your civic organization's having an event, put it on our radar. Tell us about
Please.
it, or if your business is having an event, even if it's a grand opening type thing, obviously if you're a chamber member, talk to us here. But if you're not, maybe this is your foot in the door and say, hey, yeah, we'll be happy to let you know about that. But, we'd love to talk to you about some of the other things we can do to help
Correct.
your business grow. But please, whatever it is to make your thing or event better, please consider the chamber as a resource or a tool to help promote it, and or maybe even partner with it, depending on the nature of what you're doing and what maybe it lines up with what we're doing, and we can turn it into a multi-faceted event here.
Exactly. And we have a brand new membership director, Gary Thrine.
Mm-hmm.
He has been one of our longtime Redcoats, and he has come in as of November to be our membership director, and he has hit the ground running.
Yeah.
So he is so eager and anxious to get out
He's
and
so good
meet
at
everybody in town.
He's so good at welcoming people that we made it a paid gig for him.
Exactly. Yeah. No, 100%.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is. He's been a long time and still is a Redcoat.
Yes.
And involved with that, but we're like, well, let's take
bring
that
you in
to
and-
our level. And so now he's been our membership coordinator for the last month or so here, and doing a great job. And if you have not seen Gary in your businesses
You will.
You will soon.
Whether you're a member or not, because he will be hitting everybody up, and he's got his list. We've taken that time through the holiday season, and so he's going to be out there, and we're just excited to have him on there.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's a great asset to us and a great human being too.
He really is. He's definitely interesting.
Yeah.
Sit down and talk with him, and you learn a lot of things.
Yeah, but please get involved. We got stuff, and so if you've got events, if you got things, let us know. We'll definitely hit them up on our community calendar and our social medias and all the different ways we get things out to people.
Correct.
Here.
And of course, if you're a member, there's so many other tools that we have at our disposal to be able to help our members. So, of course, today, chat with Chaves County, and then starting next week, back on the Tuesday schedule with Good Morning Roswell. Then the third Tuesday of every month is the Sheriff's Luncheon, and we wrap up the month every month with our education panel, and we've traditionally been having Brian Luck, superintendent for RISD, Major General Grizzle with NMMI, and Dr. Sean Powell with Eastern New Mexico University Roswell campus. But we are not limited to only those three. If
some of our private schools love to see your administrators come and be a part of it.
Or our Valley schools like Arthur Dexter Hagerman.
Absolutely.
If you're a homeschool representative, please come and let me know that you're out there and that you're interested. We'll get you in the mix, because the whole purpose of that last luncheon of the month is to highlight everything with education.
And even like our local schools that aren't in Roswell. And what I mean by that is like your ENMU Portales.
Yes.
Your maybe New Mexico Tech, if you're listening and you're representatives from one of these other state schools that would love to be a part of this.
I would love to have those representatives, because then you can explain, somebody's going to have a child or a grandchild or a niece or a nephew that's getting ready to go on to higher ed.
New Mexico
Who are
State,
you? What do you
whatever.
do? And why would my child be a fit?
Sure.
I've got 2 college students nowadays, and it's pretty interesting to see how different they are. They're only a year and a half apart, but to see how different the personalities are and what they're into.
Well, and you look at, because obviously ENMU's here in Roswell and things, but, New Mexico State cruises, obviously UNM, but then they're now it's the Community College of the Southwest down in Carlsbad, which was formerly part of New Mexico State. Now it's its own college. So there's other higher learning institutions within our local region, and if you want representation at this, please reach out to Andrea here, and we'll definitely
be
love
more
to have
than
you.
happy to get you looped in and on the schedule.
Yeah.
So that's what we've got going on, and of course we're into 2024, which means start looking for all of our information for Roswell. That will be happening the middle of March.
Which will happen quicker than you realize.
Yes. So if you'd like to be a sponsor, or you've traditionally been a sponsor, please, once again, contact us at the office. We'd love to get you in. If you know somebody that is in the agricultural entertainment area and you think that they would be a great fit for Rise with Roswell, we are right now in the middle of going through all of our ideas.
The hunt for a guest speaker. And
Exactly.
all that, yeah.
And I'm always amazed at how many really good people and talent is out there.
Absolutely.
So we're always looking for somebody that's unique, interesting.
And
to
if you're
be.
not familiar, Rise of Roswell is our yearly salute to our farmers and ranchers.
Correct.
To the people that put food on our table and put, this is, kids, your food does not come from the grocery store.
Correct.
There's other places.
As Candy Azell has always told me, and I love this about Candy, she goes, all right, who here in this room is part of ACT? And of course, you don't see very many hands. And she goes, do you eat?
Yeah.
Yes. If you eat, you're part of AG.
Yeah.
You should come
You're
out
the end
to our
product.
Rise with Roswell agricultural breakfast.
Absolutely.
It does start early. It does start at 6 a.m.
It is farmer and rancher hours.
But my kids love it because they can go have a really good breakfast and then still go off to school
You're done
and
by
enjoy the day.
7 or so there.
That's right.
7:30, and you get a great guest speaker. And the only part that stinks is it's early in the morning because
that's right.
That's farmers' times. But as we get closer, we'll have more information. But now's the time if you want to be a sponsor, if you want to reserve your table for the
Correct.
event.
If you want to be a part of this event in any way, shape, or form, contact us at the chamber, either myself or Gary. We would love to make sure
But
we've got
it's always
you.
a great breakfast. We always have great people that support and provide the food and everything, and we have great guest speakers.
Because I always feel like at the end of the event, there's, we should have had that one last sponsor or that one last person we should have reached out to.
Yeah.
So, if we haven't reached out to you for some reason, contact us. That doesn't mean that we're trying to snub anybody. It just means that maybe we don't know you exist yet.
Well, if you eat it or wear it, odds are pretty good. You're a part of the.
That's
the
right.
ag-
So come be a part of that.
Come.
And then we've got legislative session that's starting next week, if I can remember correctly.
20. What is it? 20.
Because it's starting pretty quick. It is a 30-day session because we're on an even year, which means it is a shortened
I want to
session.
say it's like 2 or 3 weeks away. I just don't remember.
Yeah,
the exact
it's coming
date.
pretty quick.
Yeah.
And so we will be going to session a couple of times to go advocate for our community. Of course, Leadership Roswell goes every year to go do one of their classes to meet the elected officials, see how Santa Fe works, and participate.
If they get to do everything, they usually get to go to the governor's mansion. They
Correct.
go to the Supreme Court. They go. That's if they get to do everything. But usually there are things going on that day that 1 or 2 of those events.
Inevitably, something happens. We'll have a nice, beautiful agenda for 2 days.
Yeah.
And inevitably, something will happen. And it's like, oh, well, sorry.
And-
this thing happened. We couldn't avoid it.
And to be honest, because this is a 30-day and not a 60-day, that increases the odds of that happening.
Correct.
Because 60 days a little more leisure, especially if you're going the first 30 days of the 60-day. It's a little bit more slower paced.
Correct.
But the 30-day, they ain't got time for all that.
They go.
Yeah, they hit the ground running, and it goes the entire 30 days. So if something's going on in the Supreme Court that day, they just may not be able to accommodate you. Or the governor's got something going on, they just can't accommodate you. That does happen from time to time.
And it's not a personal stab at Leadership Roswell. They're very well known, well respected.
Absolutely.
And so all of our officials, all of our people up in Santa Fe love to see our Leadership Roswell
But we're
group.
hoping this year nothing like this will be the first time that everything's back to normal as
Correct.
far as limited on where they can go.
And
where
so
we
far,
can do and
I haven't heard of us hitting any road bumps with that.
Good.
And so we're putting on the finishing touches this week, making sure we have enough rooms, all of that stuff for our
everybody
group.
stay healthy, so don't make us bust out masks and all that.
Yeah,
stuff
correct.
Because that'll handcuff everything. if that's
Oh,
what's gonna
absolutely.
happen.
So just wash your hands. Don't touch your face.
That's right.
If you're sick, stay home. Just normal things. And then, of course, in April, we are bringing back our legislative recap luncheon where we will be inviting all of our elected officials for this area. So not just Roswell and Chaves County, but all of southeastern and kind of southern New Mexico.
Some of your state senators and state
Correct.
representatives.
All of
that
our
cover
anybody that is ready,
of the
willing, and able to come to give an update what just happened in the 30 days, because we have some really good elected officials. And they all kind of have an area of expertise or an area that they really focus on.
Passion projects kind
Correct.
of thing.
And so, you know, you'll have a certain elected official that'll tell you all about ag. You'll have another official all about oil and gas. Somebody else to talk to you about what happened with education, what has happened with law enforcement and, you know, health, welfare, and safety. And then, of course, they do come together and go, okay, here was our passion project as a collective. Here are the things that we've done. And then, of course, they all get capital outlay money.
Yeah, find out what funded and what didn't get funded.
Exactly. And
yeah.
they'll explain that, too. Why is, you know, the money going to this project over here to Project A and not Project B?
Yeah.
Or why did we pull it together and we're going to Project Z instead of this other stuff?
For folks that have ever listened to me and County Manager Bill Williams talk on we've talked about capital outlay quite a few times on that. And basically how each city and county, municipality, they create a list of projects that they would like the state to fund, and they have to meet certain criteria about the benefit, and then basically you kind of prioritize. And so like your more important things are generally at the top of the list. Things that would be nice but not necessarily kind of are at the bottom of the list.
Correct.
And what happens is you hope to get a couple of those items on your list checked off. And then you can move up next year other lesser important items.
And just because your item is, you know, not number one, your number one project doesn't always get funded.
Sure.
There have been times that our elected officials will go, you know what, we're going to actually fund number 5 on the list. Typically, they do try to do your top, 1, 2, 3s.
Sure.
But sometimes they go, I don't have the monies, the funds to be able to help you with project number 1.
Sure.
But we can help you with project number 4.
Or they could say to you, okay, you want $1 million. I can only give you $500,000. Will that still help you? You know what I mean? And can you fit the bill for the rest
Correct.
of it?
And they try to really work with all of our cities, municipalities, counties to get those projects done, because as we all know, there's certain things, there's roads that need to be improved. There's infrastructure that needs to be improved. And how do all of these cities, municipalities, counties do it, because they can't fund it fully on their own? That's where the state comes in and goes, you know what, we'll help you out.
And generally, this kind of what I've noticed in the past is, if they're projects that are more involved in the health and safety of the public, those will generally get prioritized versus more that are dealing with just common or better lifestyle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, roads and infrastructure tends to get taken first, and not a Ferris wheel.
Yeah. Not saying that doesn't happen, but they're like saying, well, look, I get the park, but maybe we should focus on.
Correct. Let's get you to the park before we take care of the park.
So, but that's kind of the capital, and so that's those debates go on.
And so that is the purpose of our legislative recap, and that will be happening in April. Hopefully by the next time I come in, I'll have solid dates, because we just want to make sure venues are available and our people are available before I start saying, oh, come on X date.
Yep, absolutely.
Because there's nothing worse than going, we're going to be there April 1st, and then it's April 19th.
Well, good news is we got a few months between now and then, so
Correct.
we'll cement that down and get it.
But all of that information will start being flooded out into the ether. You'll start seeing our emails, social media, anywhere that we can possibly post all of that information, it'll get out there.
Absolutely. You want to talk a little bit about because now we're in the new year, want to remind folks that we're doing business after hours, things like that again.
As always, business after hours. If you are a member, that is one of our member-specific.
That's a perk.
Perk that we do for our members. If you are a member or you have a business that's getting ready to open, we would love to highlight you. So that is the purpose of our business after hours. that you contact us. We get our red coats to come out. We get the community to your business, and we highlight you. You get to show off whether it's a new addition, whether you're a brand new business, or, for example, right before we went to the holiday break in our office, we had Hippie Chicks celebrating their 20 years of being open. So we had a huge party, business after hours, with Terry and her crew at Hippie Chicks. So if you just want a reason to have a party,
sure,
business after hours is perfect. We come in, we start business after hours at 5 o'clock. We're done by 6:30. So an hour and a half. And if you want to continue to party after that, then totally up to you.
Sure.
But we will make sure that our red coats are there from 5 to 6:30. Typically, you as the business will provide a couple of door prizes. And we get the community out there. It's a great way for the community to network as well, because you get to see make new friends, see old friends. Everybody.
Usually the people that come to participate will bring $1 in a business card.
Correct.
And they'll usually, that's another drawing they'll do. And at the end of the night, they'll draw from the business cards, and the business card drawn will win the money and all the business cards.
And at Terry's business after hours, I believe the cash prize was about $75.
Not too shabby.
So 75 people throwing in $1.
That's a nice Christmas present for somebody there. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. But it's kind of, it ebbs and flows to each one. But the idea is for you to show off your business and show off, your facilities and your product and the things that you do. And for the rest of us, it's a chance to not only learn about that, we come and network and talk and, and next thing, hey, let's set up a meeting for next week to talk about that or whatever it is.
Of course, we've got our red coats, which once again are a perk for our members.
They're the ambassadors that kind of make us.
If you've got a grand opening, a ribbon cutting, right before we went into the holidays, for example, Steel Depot just opened a brand new building as part of their facility. So we did a big ribbon cutting, and they showed off their big, beautiful building and all of the new things and additions that they can do out there. So, those are perks specifically, and all you have to do is call us. Typically, we do our business after hours on Thursdays because we've noticed most people's calendars tend to be pretty open on Thursdays, but we are not limited to Thursday.
Sure. If you have a special occasion or something that falls on a different date, no worries.
Well, like Terry with Hippie Chicks.
That was on a Monday,
Her 20th anniversary fell on a Monday.
Yeah.
And she had contacted us, and she goes, if I have to do it on Thursday, I will, but my actual anniversary is this date. Yeah, of course. If it's open, if my red coats are ready, willing, and able to do it, we are happy to show up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So please, again, if you're a chamber member, reach out to us and say if that's a possibility or something.
And
you
if
want to do
you're
for your
not a
business.
chamber member, you should be, because this is just, 2 examples of what we can do for you.
Absolutely. But yeah, it's another, and but look for more of those here in 2024.
Absolutely.
And of course, as a chamber member, you're going to see more. We also, because we talk about learning about with the mayor and with the city, but sometimes they also have one of those kinds of sessions that are for businesses, and it's a session on learning how to handle HR, the new HR stuff, or handle with these times and leave and all this stuff that in the last year or two these rules have been
our
made.
lunch and learns
Stuff
we're
they
getting
kinda learned
short
it
up
out.
because you do need to know some of these new rules and regulations. If you are a business that has, I think it's 17 people or more, there's certain things you have to do versus a business that has 2 or 3 employees that you're not required to do certain things. And I'm learning every day those different regulations.
But we have experts that come in and offer sessions from time to time that teach things
and
like that.
if you are an expert in something that you think, hey, everybody needs to know this, once again, contact us. We'd love to get you highlighted.
And think about this terms, we're the chamber, because we have all businesses. We have your major corporations, your internationally known businesses.
Yes.
To the two people mom and pop business.
That's right around the corner from our store.
Absolutely. We have members that are both. and they all serve each other. Whereas, our bigger corporations, they don't need so much money for marketing and advertisement. They got that covered, but they need goodwill. They need to establish in communities and say that they're part of the community.
And they want to network with the smaller businesses
right.
when there are things going on.
So
they want to help.
So we're that conduit for them. Whereas the mom and pops, the folks that are literally, they have a passion for their product and that's about it here. We can help you guys with the other side, that the part that you got in and you're like, look, I don't have the money to spend $500 a month on advertising or any of that kind of stuff. That's where the chamber can say, you know what, we can
help you
circumnavigate some of that, help you with that, get you alternatives to market your business in ways that don't cost you $500
Correct.
To do that.
We help use our resources to help you become
and
the best that you possibly can be.
On the other side, too, when you need to know some of these rules and regulations and things, and you're like, wait a minute, I got to do what now for these employees? But I only got 2 of them. What am I mean?
Exactly.
We can be that resource to help you make sure you're in compliance with those kinds of things.
Oh, absolutely.
We can find that information, help you get it.
And I don't know everything, and I can't tell you how many times I'm like, I have not been asked that question yet. And I take your name and phone number or your email. I go find the information and get back with you.
And that's where we can also do that for networking of businesses.
Exactly.
Like if you have a little downtown event here, well, more of our little businesses can partner together for that. If obviously if they're all selling widget X, then it might be a problem. But when they got their own little, one does food, one does, boutique stuff, one does jewelry, whatever it is. I mean,
exactly. How do you partner together? Because I sell hamburgers, you sell sodas, and the guy next door sells alien widgets.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, let's get together and have a party.
Absolutely.
And then we all benefit.
That's what the chamber does. So, if you're not a chamber member,
you should be. You're missing out.
And another thing that we always like to say too is if you do business in Chaves County,
even if you're not located in Chaves County, you should be a member.
Absolutely.
For sure.
So even though you don't have a physical building in Chaves County,
if you are doing business in Chaves County in Roswell, you should be a member, because you are only going to continue to help your community in which you are doing commerce, but then we can continue to help everybody within our community as well. And just because our name is Roswell Chamber of Commerce does not mean that we only help those within the boundaries of Roswell. We will help anybody within the boundaries of our community, which is Chaves County, and a lot of times even beyond.
Eddie, Lee,
if you need help, we are here to serve.
Well, the thing is, a lot of our counties down here share a lot of the same.
Absolutely, there is a lot of overlap.
Yeah, so it always works together to help out and benefit each other, especially when we get into more regional or statewide issues. Let's face it, a lot of the counties down here are on an island on most things that the rest of the state are dealing with.
Oh, absolutely.
And
we
so
are completely different.
Yeah.
You cross I-40, and we are 2 different worlds a lot of times.
So there's strength in numbers.
Yes.
So a lot of times we're working hand in hand with Hobbs and Artesia and Carlsbad. And
absolutely, because we all have the same vested interests.
Yeah.
We all want what's best for our communities and for our citizens and for ourselves, quite frankly. I don't have small children anymore. I have big and medium-sized kids, but I want my kids to come back. My son goes to school out of state.
Yeah, some of them are at the point where they're now picking their paths on where they're going.
They are, and I would love for my son to finish school, go see the world, and then come back. I would love to see my son come back, my daughter come back to the community.
I think most kids, and I can't say all kids, but I'm going to say most kids, at some point they hit that place where they want to see the world and be independent for a minute.
And you should, and I encourage it.
Absolutely. But the thing is, we want to, so when they that phase ends and they're like, man, I just want to go, you want them to come back home rather than say, oh, I'm going to establish
I want your roots. Come back to these roots. Why come back home?
Take those assets you have and bring them back to the home community.
And I'm doing my little part to be that.
Yeah.
For not just my children, but for everybody. Why Roswell? Because we really are fantastic. We are great. And what can we do as a community to say, you know what? Go sow your wild oats. Right. Go see the world. But then when you really want to come back and start your family, come to Roswell.
Yeah.
We have so much more to offer than a lot of other places.
Absolutely. Well,
And I'm talking from experience because I have experienced a lot of the country and a lot of the world.
I grew up in the East. I grew up
love
in Maryland,
Roswell.
the D.C. area, and it's different than growing up here.
Yes.
It took me a while to get used to people saying hi to each other and all. Like you don't do that in D.C. You just don't randomly say hi to people in D.C. because they thinking, what do you want from me? What do you do? You know what I mean? That's, when we walk up and down the streets downtown here, and not everybody, but you're like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
You
People just wave at you driving down the street. And
that is foreign.
My kids are always like, who's that? I don't know.
Yeah.
It was just somebody being friendly.
That is foreign on the East Coast. New York City,
it's foreign in
DC,
a lot of
and big cities. Yeah, it's foreign.
I grew up just outside of Denver, and it was kind of the same thing. My town was a little more friendly, but Denver's not that
way. To
way.
live smart in those cities, you keep your head down and mind your business. And
That's right.
That's what you do. And
our cost of living is fantastic. You know, I've got friends that live in Denver, and we talk different things, and they go, oh my gosh, you live out in the country, you have land, you have a nice house. And for what I paid for that here in Roswell, I have friends that are living in condos that have literally 2 feet of grass on the side of their house, not in a front yard, a backyard, and they are happy to have that.
Oh, yeah. I know people back in those cities that, they live in 700 square feet and they pay $3,000 a month for it.
Exactly. And think about what $3,000 a month gets you here.
Yeah, exactly.
You're kind of living in a palace at that point.
Yeah, you're living in the Taj Mahal here at $3,000 a month. There you get 700 feet.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, it's a different world. It just is.
But if once again, I cannot stress enough today, 11:30, chat with Chaves County.
Yes.
We're going to have the finance director, the grant writer, as well as Bill Williams, our county manager. Come down 11:30.
Yeah,
we're going to have
if you'd like
hot,
to call an
fresh
RSVP
food.
this morning before, that would
You
don't
can.
have to.
You don't have to.
Just come on
show
down.
up.
Yeah.
575-623-5695. Come on down if you want to be a member. We'd love to have you be a member.
Absolutely.
If you've got an event in the area, call us, contact us. We'd love to get it put out.
Absolutely.
And like I said, Happy New Year. We're ready to hit the ground running, and all of our programming starts back up today.
That's right. Happy 2024.
That's
get
right.
involved
Woohoo!
and get active here and be an active part in making your businesses grow.
That's right.
So good deal. Well, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
We will see you here in a couple weeks. And
all right.
Don't work too hard.
Never.
Yeah. Now
always.
I just tell people I work hard at not working hard. I work hard at trying to get out of it.
It depends on the day.
That's right. I kid, of course. All right. It is 9:51. Let's get you in the news. Quick break before the kick.
Goals and objectives will address land use, community character, economic development, housing and neighborhoods, and several other subjects. For more details, visit artesiacomprehensiveplan.com. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
The Las Cruces Bulldogs boys and girls basketball teams paid a visit to Roswell High last night, and it was a successful road trip, not so successful for the home team. The Roswell girls fell to Las Cruces 56-46. Roswell's now 9-5 overall and will play at Mayfield Thursday night starting at 6:30. Meanwhile, the guys' score was very similar to the girls. Las Cruces won that one 57-48 as Roswell's now 8-7 on the season. Like the girls, they're going to go to Mayfield their next game. That'll be Friday, though, at 6:30. Meanwhile, Goddard on Monday night in boys action defeated Dexter 67-47. Goddard will next be in action at the Taos shootout. It's actually called the North-South shootout against Taos at 7:30 on Thursday. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're looking pretty good today. We'll stay a little bit breezy, 20 to 25 miles per hour on that wind. We'll be in the low 60s, though, and we should have plenty of sunshine with high pressure overhead. Low to mid 30s and clear for the overnight hours. And then we have cold front dropping in on Thursday, mid 50s for the afternoon high. Some cloud cover and wind gusting to 45 miles an hour. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
All across America, this is the Lou Dobbs Business Report.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Tesla gaining on other car makers, BlackRock making cuts. Stocks edging lower midweek. The Dow Jones Industrial slipped more than 150 points, snapping a three-day win streak. Chip makers keeping the Nasdaq higher. NVIDIA up about 5% this week, up nearly 12% over the past 5 days. Investors waiting on inflation updates this week and the unofficial start to earnings season. Wells Fargo and Bank of America reporting Friday, both stocks down more than 1% yesterday. Tesla gaining ground in the overall automotive market. Kelley Blue Book reporting Tesla raised its market share from 3.8 to 4.2% last year. BlackRock announcing cuts this week. The world's largest asset manager announcing it's cutting about 3% of its workforce. BlackRock lagging on the S&P, up less than 5% over the past year. The stock down nearly 0.5% after yesterday's announcement. Meta says it's adding more online protections for younger Facebook and Instagram users. The move amid an ongoing lawsuit filed by 42 attorneys general in October. Please join me twice each weekday for the Lou Dobbs Business Report right here.
Business news you need to know. Keep listening for more. This is the Lou Dobbs Business Report.
A cyber attack happens every 39 seconds. If you didn't insist that your IT security team call Arison before you know it, it's too late. Your company network gets attacked, your client data gets stolen, your bank accounts get drained, then the lawsuits come and you're in hot water. Arison's Cyber Z Suite ensures total network coverage and best practice-based zero-trust cybersecurity. Get protected. Call Arison today to schedule a no-obligation consultation. 908-878-7717. 908-878-7717. That's Arison. ERACENT.com.
Believe it or not, your home insurance company isn't evil. Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing here. A lot of roofers make your insurance company out to be your enemy. They'll talk about fighting and battling your insurance to get you the claim you deserve. But honestly, your insurance company is a group of people just like you and me. That's why we don't treat your roof insurance claim like we're going to war. We treat it like a court case. We provide your insurance company every piece of evidence needed to get you the highest possible claim. We submit photos, videos, detailed documents, and line-by-line estimates. And guess what? Our non-combat approach works. On 92% of roof insurance claims, we get the highest amount the first time. And the rare times we don't, well then, that's when we go to bat for you. Call today for your 20% off coupon for our spring roof and gutter maintenance service. 575-755-ROOF or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first. Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward and Son Insurance Agency. Auto and home, life and health, personal and commercial. Bonds too, since 1925. We have the coverage for you. Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward and Son Insurance Agency.
The crisp air is reminding us that time is going by so quickly. It's already a new season. Isn't it time that you've thought about putting yourself first? Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher at Carabelli Dental. Don't wait another minute. Come in and learn how you can replace that broken tooth with a dental implant. Now you, too, can have the confidence to smile ear to ear.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell or call 575-622-4455. 1 minute away from 9 o'clock. Coming up, got Chavez County Manager Bill Williams coming up next hour on A Morning Without Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Stay tuned.
Roswell's home for talk radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Greg Clugston in Washington. Presidential son Hunter Biden made a surprise appearance on Capitol Hill this morning as Republicans were taking the first step toward holding him in contempt of Congress. He made quite a stir, showing up in the hearing room and later leaving after an outcry from some GOP lawmakers. James Comer is chairman of the House Oversight Committee.
Hunter Biden's willful refusal to comply with the committee's subpoenas is a criminal act. It constitutes contempt of Congress and warrants referral to the appropriate United States Attorney's Office for prosecution as prescribed by the law.
The White House has ordered a government-wide review after Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin failed to notify President Biden and top Pentagon deputies that he was hospitalized after prostate cancer surgery. National Security Council spokesman John Kirby admits that Austin should have been more forthcoming.
It is not optimal for a situation like this to go as long as it did without the commander-in-chief knowing about it.
Wild winter weather all across the country, blizzards in the northwest, high winds and heavy rain in the northeast, and the threat of tornadoes in the south.
In Florida.
So it looks like that prefrontal tornado threat is mostly over.
The Walton County Sheriff's Office says high winds and tornadoes blew off the roofs of homes. One person died and 2 others were critically injured after a suspected tornado struck a mobile home park in Claremont, North Carolina, north of Charlotte. A possible tornado knocked down several old brick storefronts in downtown Bamberg, South Carolina. I'm Donna Warder.
Federal regulators are extending the grounding of some Boeing jets after an Alaska Airlines plane lost a side panel last week. NASDAQ up 68. More at townhall.com.
Donald Trump's. Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
House Speaker Mike Johnson says while it's not what everyone wanted, the proposed $1.6 trillion budget deal for fiscal year 2024 needs to be passed.
We have to demonstrate that we can govern, and this is our effort to do that. I think we will, Hugh. I think we'll pass this. The vast majority of the conference understands this is a good deal under the given circumstances that we have.
Johnson appeared on the Salem radio network earlier today. The deal was hammered out by congressional negotiators and announced over the weekend. Timing will be critical. Congress faces a mid-January deadline to pass funding to avert a partial government shutdown. Secretary of State Blinken is meeting with Palestinian President Abbas to seek governance reforms. It's part of a plan to rally that part of the region behind a post-war vision for Gaza as the war between Israel and Hamas continues. News and analysis at townhall.com. Air Force Two, carrying Vice President Kamala Harris, had to be diverted to a different airport.
Vice President Harris's aircraft was forced to divert to a Washington area airport after encountering stormy weather Tuesday night as she returned from a trip to Georgia. Harris's press secretary says the plane was diverted from Joint Base Andrews to Dulles International Airport. A person familiar with the matter said the aircraft encountered wind shear as a powerful storm brought high winds and rain to the nation's capital. Wind shear is a sudden shift in wind direction or speed that can be hazardous during takeoff and landing. There were no injuries. I'm Norman Hall.
Recapping the top story, presidential son Hunter Biden made an unexpected surprise appearance on Capitol Hill today as Republicans were taking the first step toward holding him in contempt of Congress. There was an outcry from some of the GOP lawmakers sitting on the committee. More at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil wishing, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3 of A Morning Without Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. I just assumed we would eschew it today, but cool.
No, I gotta push the camera button.
Happy Wednesday. Hope everybody's week is going smoothly. Just a reminder, Mixmaster Mike Winters illin for this first half of this week. Hopefully he'll be back in studio. All signs point to tomorrow, but we're not still up in the air, so we're not 100% sure on that. Kind of playing it by ear as we go. But meanwhile, you got your boy Sean Smalls sitting here in the captain's chair. And happy Wednesday to you. Welcome to your halfway day, your hump day, whatever day you want to call it. Just so long as you get up, you get at them, and you make it your way.
Feels like it's already Friday.
Does it?
Yeah. It doesn't feel like it's Wednesday to me.
I have felt every single second of this week so far. It is absolutely... You just got here. Like, Jocelyn was here Monday and Tuesday, and used your first day of the week, and you're going to sit here and tell me it's Friday? You feel like it's Friday?
There was no show Monday.
There was no show here Monday. But, okay, technically, yeah. You guys were both off for both days. But I've been here trying to spin all the plates. Been pretty exhausting. Actually, right before Bill came in, this is the exact position I was in, and the camera can vouch for that. It was just like this.
That's it.
Yep. Just trying to catch a couple of extra Z's the 2 minutes before everything hits the fan. But happy Wednesday to you. Hopefully your day going smoothly. You know, I just did a story a few minutes ago on my other show over on 92.9 The Brand, talking about the over-under on the amount of perfect nights of sleep the average American got in 2023. And the breakdown was it's basically 30% perfect nights, 32% good nights, and 30 whatever the rest is bad nights of sleep. And basically they said that the bad nights outweigh all the good and perfect nights and pretty much ruin the entirety of your year. So it got to, talking about different methods, ways that people use to try to fall asleep and stay asleep. Stuff, CBD, warm milk, putting on a Kenny G album, things like that. But one of the things that they didn't mention, and this is my new go-to. If you have trouble getting to sleep at night, try this. It's like audio NyQuil. Every night for the past couple of weeks, I get ready for bed. I get myself, I get the kids tucked in and all that. I get myself all ready for bed. And then I go on YouTube on my phone and I find an iceberg video. I know, Roy, you know what these are. Are you familiar with iceberg videos?
I am not.
Okay, so an iceberg video, by the way, Travis County Manager
I always take those with a grain of salt, though, because it's like there's always going to be more information than is given in that video.
Sure.
But
I'm not doing it for any informational purposes. It could be an iceberg video about pocket lint, as long as it drones on. What an iceberg video is, basically, if you think about what an iceberg is, most of the iceberg is underwater. There's only a small portion of it that's above water. And what you do is you take a subject and you tell people everything there is to know about that subject. From the tier 1, stuff that pretty much everybody knows, all the way down to the bottom of the iceberg, stuff that almost nobody knows. The reason these are so good for sleep is because they're usually about an hour and a half to 2.5 hours of just some dude's monotone voice droning on and on like this in tier 3. And it's like putting on an audiobook. I turn one of these on, I'm out like that.
Billions of years ago.
Exactly. I stay asleep all night. It is the perfect way to get a good night's sleep. So if you're having trouble finding yourself getting to sleep at night, find an iceberg video and see if that doesn't help.
And then there's the one video that's like really loud and wakes you up.
Yeah, you got to be careful because you do land on the ones where they play clips or something like that. I'll tell you this, and maybe this is because I've worked with headphones my whole life. I cannot sleep in a silent room. Like if I'm in a room and it's just quiet, I'm awake. I'm like listening to my thoughts, essentially. So when I went to stay with my family over the Christmas holiday, I was in my nephew's bedroom, which didn't have any kind of noise, any radio or anything like that. And I could not get to sleep for like the first night for like 45 minutes to an hour. So what I did, I went on YouTube and I found a 10-hour video of an oscillating fan. That's all. It was just a fan. It was just the sound of a fan blowing.
Yeah.
And I slept like a baby. It's the weird. I just have to have some semblance of noise in my ears if I'm going to sleep at all.
I wonder what uses more energy, a video of a fan on your TV or just a fan running all night.
I would assume the fan because it takes a lot more power to move the blades, but I could be very wrong on that. But I'll tell you this, it does drain a battery. I had to plug my phone in for the rest of the trip because of that one. But a couple solutions if you yourself are having a hard time finding a good night's sleep. Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the program.
Would this qualify as an iceberg video, this talk you're just now having? Yeah, I mean it's gone from one extreme to another. I mean, it's totally hit every little thing, including which takes more power.
That's true.
An actual fan or a video of a fan.
I'll tell you this. Before I stumbled on my iceberg sleep remedy, I did put on an episode of this very program.
And put you out like a light.
And it put me out like a light until I heard something funny that I said in the second hour. Like in my subconscious, I heard it, and that woke me up to giggle, and then I fell back asleep. So yeah, this show is pretty effective at putting you to sleep.
Okay.
Or as the caller we got in hour number 1 will tell you, it's effective if you're looking for anything else to listen to. Just change the channel. We have a hater amongst us. But I digress. Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the program.
Let's go on an iceberg about that person.
Right? Coming up here in just a few minutes, we'll have in official capacity Chavez County Manager Bill Williams joining us. And we'll be chit-chat about a busy 2024 as folks transition upwards. We look to fill seats. It's going to be a busy time, so we'll chit-chat all about that coming up here in just a few minutes. Hey, real quickly, I do want to tell you about our friends over at Big O Tires. They're always there to keep you on the road safe and wherever it is you're going, over the river, through the woods to Grandma's house. You want to make sure you got a reliable ride to get you there. We'll ring in the new year at your locally owned and operated Big O Tires. Now through January 17th, you can save $140 on Michelin tires after mail-in rebate. Plus, up to $25 to $100 on Goodyear tires after mail-in rebate. You know, Big O Tires is more than just tires. They offer services like brakes, batteries, shocks, struts, oil changes, alignments, and everything else, top to bottom and stem to stern for your car. Stop in for the Healthy Car Special for just $29.95. That includes an oil change, alignment, free tire rotation, brake inspection, windshield wiper fluid top-off, and more. That's just $29.95. Big O Tires wants to keep you safe on the roads, and that's why they offer a free multi-point inspection with every service. Big O Tires offering multiple financing options to suit any situation. Of course, locally owned and operated Big O Tires right here in Roswell. Visit bigotires.com to schedule your appointment or just stop in today. It's Big O Tires in Roswell, the team you can trust. 14 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let's pause and get you up to date with the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're looking pretty good today. We'll stay a little bit breezy, 20 to 25 miles per hour on that wind. We'll be in the low 60s, though, and we should have plenty of sunshine with high pressure overhead. Low to mid 30s and clear for the overnight hours. And then we have cold front dropping in on Thursday, mid 50s for the afternoon high. Some cloud cover and wind gusting to 45 miles an hour. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 37 degrees round Roswell Way, humidity at 36%, winds out of the southeast at around 3 miles an hour, with a barometer of 29.76 inches and a dew point of 12 degrees, in case you plan on doing some sailing later today. Mostly sunny skies, 62 for the high, winds out of the west 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming south later in the morning. For tonight, clear skies dropping down to 30 for the overnight low. Winds out of the northwest 5 to 10, becoming south after midnight. Sunny skies for your Thursday, get up to 58 degrees, but it is going to be a windy day tomorrow. Winds steady 10 to 20, increasing to between 20 and 30 in the afternoon, and gusts up to 45 miles an hour. Thursday night, mostly cloudy, then gradually becoming mostly clear, dropping down to an overnight low of 21 degrees. So it might be a good idea to bring the plants and the pets and maybe even the husband inside for the night. The wind's still going to be a-blowing, and you know it's going to be a biting cold wind. Winds out of the northwest 20 to 30 miles an hour, gusts up to 40 for your Thursday night. Friday, sunny skies, 53 for the high, warming back up to 64 on Saturday, and 56 for the high on Sunday, with mostly sunny skies pretty much all weekend long. 16 minutes after 9 o'clock, going to pause, and after these, Travis County Manager Bill Williams on A Morning Without Mike Winters. Stay tuned.
My name's Art Scott. I'm a New Mexico dairy farmer and rancher and a proud Republican. But this year, I'm supporting Teresa Ledger Fernandez. As our Congresswoman, she's committed to listening and serving Eastern New Mexico while delivering on what's important, like funding critical water projects. Teresa delivered $177 million for the Eastern New Mexico water pipeline that serves communities across the eastern part of our state. And she stood up to the federal government, holding them accountable for contaminating our farm and ranch land. She is fighting for our livelihoods and our traditional farming and ranching way of life. Teresa is also working to make things easier for all New Mexicans by lowering the cost of prescription drugs and ensuring our veterans have access to quality care. I hope you'll join me in supporting Teresa Ledger Fernandez for Congress.
I'm Teresa Ledger Fernandez, candidate for Congress, and I approve this message. Paid for by Teresa for All.
Asian Market brings the flavors of the East to Roswell. The market side has lots of new and different items, including new sauces and noodles to enhance your Asian dishes, plus new snacks and more. And the restaurant inside Asian Market has all Nook's favorites from 11 to 5, like wontons, egg drop, rice or noodle soup, crispy calamari, and the best barbecue fried rice in town. Dine in or call ahead for easy pickup. And find Asian Market on Facebook for updates on open times and specials.
Hi, this is Nook. Come see me at Asian Market, 5702 South Main in Roswell. Call 575-840-5309.
Pecos Valley Production is excited to announce their online ordering has never been easier, because now you can order from PVP online in Spanish. Simply head for PecosValleyProduction.com and switch the tab on the bottom left of your screen from English to Spanish. Now it's never been easier to get access to the healing and calming products you need simply and affordably. Just log on to PecosValleyProduction.com and switch the tab on the bottom left of the screen from English to Spanish. Pecos Valley Production, dairy to dank since 2016. Must be 21 or over with valid ID to purchase.
The average American spends 2.5 days a year looking for lost items. We aren't sure how long Europeans and Asians look for lost stuff. We lost the list. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. 18 minutes after 9 o'clock on this Wednesday morning without Mike Winters. Joining us in studio this morning, Travis County Manager Bill Williams. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. Thanks for letting me come in.
Absolutely. It is. It's definitely an interesting time. We're gearing up for an election year. Lots of changes happening. People starting to wake up and realize, oh, I've got to make a decision here pretty soon.
Yeah, we have had some decisions to make the end of last year, some decisions. I mean, starting as of last Friday, Representative Greg Nybert resigned his seat in the House and became a state senator for us. So
moving on up.
So now we're going to have to fill that seat. So we've been working pretty diligently on how we're going to do that.
Absolutely. And it feels like everything in politics goes incredibly slowly, like molasses running uphill, until a decision has to be made. And then it's, let's get this now.
Right. You know, the session starts next week, next Tuesday, the 16th.
Right.
And we're without a representative from our District 59. Just got the Senate seat filled. It's like, we got to do this now. We got to do this quick, so that this person will at least have time to find a place to stay while they're in Santa Fe, if not be effective in their new role.
Start making some travel plans. You know, maybe if you have a golf, a tee time scheduled at a Roswell course, you might have to postpone that a little while.
Yeah. Oh, I had a doctor's appointment that week, so sorry, I won't be able to fulfill my obligation.
Well, it feels like with doctor's appointments, it's like, well, we can get you in July 3rd. You know, it feels like people are booking way out for doctors nowadays. So you're not too far off on that.
Well, I know a couple of years ago I wanted to change doctors or find a better fit for me, and so I called the doctor's office. And said, yeah, we'll take you as a new patient. Can you come in Tuesday? Or was it? I was ill, and so I called and said, can I come in? No, I'm sorry, we can't get you in. So they called me like 3 months later and says, okay, we're ready for you to come in. I said, well, I'm not sick anymore. Right. I says, when I'm sick, then I'll come see you. Oh, no, you need to come in now so that we can get to know you. I said, what? So you can bill my insurance or what? Why do you need to get to know me? I'm not ill today. That doesn't seem like it's the right way to do it, but that's why they do it.
What do you want to know? I'll tell you over the phone right now.
Right.
Totally free of charge. Absolutely. So obviously we have to act real quick with the session starting. As Janine mentioned in the 7 o'clock hour, you guys have like a week and a half to basically make this happen from scratch.
Right. And what we did before, we've done this twice before in very recent history. Senate seat 42 was Gay Kernan's seat. We only had 11 voters in Chaves County, 11 registered voters that would be able to vote for that seat.
Right.
And so that one was a little easier. We had a couple of candidates that were interested in doing it. No one from that particular, you have to live in the district where it's at. There's, like I say, only 11 voters there. It's the far east side of Chaves County, very sparsely populated. So we didn't really have much to do with that one. It was pretty easy. We had 2 candidates to discuss. They came in, talked to us. They picked one and sent that name forward. Then the governor ultimately chose one of those names. And there were 3 counties involved in that. Senate seat 27, which was the seat that former Representative Nybert just took over on Friday. That was a little bit bigger deal because, Chaves County had a big part in that seat. Sure. We had a lot of representation from our county that fills that seat. But there were 4 counties involved, and the people that names were put forward were from each of these counties. So Roosevelt County, they had their kind of front runner. Chaves County had their front runner. Lee County had their front runner.
Everybody has a horse to back.
And so there were 3 names put forward. It took quite a while before the governor decided which person she was going to put forth, and that turned out to be Greg Nybert. So that then left House seat 59 open.
So
the session is starting.
Yes, it's right away. So where do we go from here? How do we? What's the process to get this seat filled?
This seat is entirely within Chaves County. There's no other counties weighing in on it or anything else.
Okay.
The way it works is if there are multiple counties, each county sends a name to the governor. The governor can then select from that list of names to appoint the person. In this case, the county itself, the county commission, will be the ones who give the name, and that will be the person that will be appointed as the new state representative.
You just got to narrow it down and figure out who that name is going to be.
The deal that we've encountered, the previous ones, like I say, was a little different because we had multiple counties involved in it, and we took some time to interview and weigh it out. But this time, it's all purely within Chaves County. We've got at least 8 people who are interested in this seat.
Okay.
At least 8. And that's part of the reason I'm on here today. If anyone in earshot is interested in being considered for this House seat, we need them to provide us by the close of business today a letter stating that you would like to be considered for House seat 59, along with your full name and address, so we can, of course, check and make sure you're in the right district.
Sure.
And list of qualifications. That can be as broad as you want or as narrow as you want. If you want to just do bullet points, say, I'm this, and this,
Student
or a
of the
full
month,
resume.
February.
Yeah.
Sure.
So if a person would do that, get it to us by this afternoon, that'd be great. I can forward that to the commissioners. And then tomorrow they will have a special meeting of the Chaves County Board of Commissioners. They will allow each person who's interested in having this seat speak. And then they have a very difficult job of narrowing the field. They're going to choose tomorrow. They have, like I say, at least 8 good qualified candidates. We have people with backgrounds in agriculture, oil and gas, business, education, community services. All these great attributes are being put forth by people from our community. It's kind of a good and a bad thing. It's good that we have so many people coming forward and so many good qualifications. The bad part is they've got to eliminate all but one of those. And so they're going to have to act very quickly. They're going to have to really do some soul searching. So that's why we're asking that everyone turn in their information if they're interested in doing it today, so I can get it to the commissioners. They can begin to study it tonight. They'll have a hard copy in the morning because they're kind of like me on the computer. I can't find it there, but
I'm
let's
the
see which
same
paper
way.
it is. Here it is. And as the person speaking with them, they can review things and think of questions. So they will take the list of candidates, allow them to speak, allow the public to speak briefly. They don't want this to go on and on and on, but there will be some public comment, and they will then narrow the field.
Gotcha.
And then they'll probably ask some more questions, and they'll probably narrow the field.
Mm-hmm.
And their intent is to select someone to replace Senator Nybert at tomorrow's meeting.
So by tomorrow, hopefully we'll have.
By tomorrow, yeah.
We should have a name.
And of course, like I say, this is a very difficult one because it's all purely within Chaves County. Every person in this, and like I say, we have at least 8. Every person is from Chaves County. Every person has great attributes, and so it's going to be a tough decision for the county commission to determine. So
It's one of those where you have to, like you said, everybody's coming to the table with their own set of skills, their own unique things that they bring to the table. It's what's going to be the most useful, the most beneficial for us moving forward.
Right. And I got to do a shout out to some people in our community. I won't mention them by name, but we've had people that, I reached out to every person I heard who potentially was interested in this and said, I've heard you're interested. I want to be sure that you know the parameters, how we're going to do this. And we had people that said, I'm pretty effective what I've been doing for the last 25 years. I've been lobbying in Santa Fe. I've been representing agriculture. I've been representing business. I've been representing oil and gas, whatever the case was. And, I really need to give it some prayer. I need to talk with my family. I need to talk with my friends and determine if I'm going to be better off with a title and working in Santa Fe as a legislator, or am I better off continuing to do what I've done for the last 25 years and make a difference. So the goal for so many of these people is make a difference in the community. It's not make a difference in my stature.
Sure.
And so, we're very fortunate here in Chaves County that we have so many people that care about the community much more than they care about themselves and their own accolades, So that's been a pretty cool thing.
It's one of those, especially with New Mexico, it's such a multifaceted state as far as like how agriculture is such a big part of our income, our community, as is oil and gas, as is dairy, and there's all these different aspects and things that are of vital importance. It's kind of like looking at your kids and figuring out which one of your kids is your favorite, essentially. Which I won't get into that here. That's for me and my counselor. But the point is, lots of qualified names, and obviously it's for the greater good of the county that we put somebody in position that knows what they're doing.
Right. And we've got representatives from different political parties, and everyone's got a different feel of what the direction we need to go, and so they'll be able to come tomorrow, speak up, kind of sell themselves and their platform, and hopefully move forward. And of course, like I say, the commissioners are the ones ultimately that are responsible because they are all elected officials, and in the event of something like this happening where we can't go before the voters, they have to put someone in their place.
Sure.
So, and this person, of course, then will be required to run after this legislative session. They will have to run if they would like to retain the seat. So it's just kind of covering us for this 30-day session that we're getting ready to start.
Right. Just make sure we have somebody in position, and then we'll
Correct.
figure things out moving forward. So that's all. That's a whole lot to go through, and that's all going to happen. You said the commission meeting is tomorrow morning at 9?
Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah. And each of the people, so that it's fair, we will ask them to draw a lottery, pull a number, and that way can't say, well, I want to speak after Dave because everything that I want to say is going to contradict what he says, or everything that he says I want to build on for mine. We don't want that to happen. We want it to be as extemporary as possible, and so we're going to allow them to draw numbers. Everyone will go in whatever order they draw, and we think that's probably the fairest process to make sure people are heard and with no special.
And one of the things you touched on earlier is the candidates that you have before you basically are different political affiliations. And it's something I was discussing with Janine earlier. It seems like now more than ever, political affiliations have snaked and weaseled their way into local politics in a way that never was that way before. Like, I mean, Republican and Democratic candidates, it never felt like at the local level, on the smaller level, that was that big of a deal, or that it was the effect that they were essentially in it to help the people. But now it just feels like this political affiliation has worked its way into every single step of the process.
Yeah, well, we're real fortunate that the group of people, at least the ones that I've talked to, they're not touting their party. They're more concerned about their community.
Sure.
Every person I've talked to has been very community minded and very much has community at heart first and foremost. Like I say, there are different affiliations, but they're not presenting that. They're not leading the charge with, hey, I'm a member of this party, or I'm a member of this party, and those people don't know what they're doing. These people are all local people that care about our community, and so we're in a really good situation. Because like you say, on the national stage, that happens so often that everyone's so polarized that they care less about that guy or that guy because they're not in the right party. And in this case, we're very fortunate that doesn't seem to be happening.
That's really good. It's what it should be about is the community, the people, and keeping Chavez County strong moving forward.
Well, that's what I like. The more local the government is, the more responsive they are to they should be anyway. And I feel like we have that in this part of the state. I don't know that we have that everywhere in the state, and we certainly don't have it in other states and across the nation. But I think that we certainly have that in this part of the state, with some rare exceptions, of course. But I think that we're doing a great job as far as pulling together as a community and trying to do the right thing for us. And I hope more people join us in
Absolutely. It always, it feels like the local, elections, the smaller ones are the ones that affect us the most, that affect the people the most.
Right.
And yet they're the ones that tend to have the least turnout.
They have the least turnout.
It's a real catch-22.
Well, and your city council meetings, your county commission meetings, board meetings at soil and water conservation districts, those are the people that are actually sticking their necks out to make sure that our way of life is protected and continues on. And those are the ones that we really ought to have more people show up at than a rally for a national seat or something like that, because your voice is going to be, I don't want to say lost, but certainly it has less clout than you would in a local seat.
It's a lot louder on a local level.
This is Sean.
Right.
Man, I want to know what Sean has to say, because he's from here. He's local. He cares about us. And he also talks on the radio every day. So I want to be sure I know what Sean thinks.
Nobody wants to know what Sean thinks. If you want to know what Sean thinks, read my manifesto. That's all I'm going to say. But so the special session tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., that's when a decision will be made. Now, I'm a huge fan of the show Survivor.
Yes.
So what I think you guys should do, okay, because you said you're going to start whittling people down, eliminating candidates, get it down to a bottom two. And like you said, it's not necessarily about what people say, it's what they're going to do. So then, whoever can make fire first.
All right.
I'm just saying, fire competition. Yeah, from scratch. The flint. Give them the flint, the stack of straw, and just see if you can build a big enough fire to burn the twine and raise the flag.
Raise the flag. There you go. I like it. I think that we could probably broaden that whole idea and make it a real fun event tomorrow.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Costumes, the whole thing, the whole shebang. So like you said, the session coming up real quickly, and this is one of those. It's a vital one because we're in an election year.
Right.
This is when big decisions are going to be made, and so it's sort of time is of the essence, so to speak.
Yeah, and the commissioners are very much aware of that. They want to be sure that they select well and get someone up there so they can get their feet planted as firmly as possible. I mean, it's really an unusual situation. Mr. Nybert, of course, was a leader in the House, and so when he left, that left a little shaky ground there to start with. He's new going over to the Senate. Yes, he's been in Santa Fe for a long time, so he understands how things work, but he's not worked out it from the Senate side, so he's probably
it's a new pond.
Searching to get his sea legs under him and make sure he knows what he's doing. Then the new person coming in, like say, they more than likely will have not had Santa Fe experience, not at the level of a legislator. So they're going to be a little off center and trying to figure out how things work. And so it's going to be a tough time to make sure that our county is represented and represented well. So it's got to have the right personality,
right?
That'll jump right in and get to work. And like I say, we have a great slate of candidates so far. And again, if anyone in the community wants to be considered before close of business today, send us a letter requesting that you be considered, along with your full name and address, and along with your list of qualifications. Do that before 5 o'clock. We'll make sure you get before the commissioners tomorrow. Be there at 9 in the morning, ready to go.
Yeah, if you're going to send the letter in, you want to make sure you're up early enough to be at the commission meeting. That's vital. So if somebody's listening and they think, I've got some a voice and I want to make it heard. When they send this letter, who do they send it to? How do they get it to you?
You can send it. We have our website, of course. You can always go to that, and you can get in contact with us through our Chaves County website. But just send it to me, bill.williams@chaviscounty.gov. And as all of us know, Chaves is spelled with an S.
Yes.
But I always say that because everyone in Santa Fe and across the rest of the state do not know Chaves starts with an S. So I just go into this whole spiel. It's bill.williams@chaviscounty.gov. And that's Chaves with an S.
Right. It's funny how when you're picking an email, you want it to be unique, specific, but also not a lot of letters. I really regret that my email. I was in the process of starting my own freelance production company several years back. I was going to call it Smalls Time Productions. So my email, I have to spell it out to everybody when I'm on a phone. It's smallstimepod@gmail.com, but it's so long, and the Smalls is spelled with a Z instead of an S because I was trying to be hip. But that long email has really bitten me in the keister more often than not because I hate having to break it down to people. But yeah, busy time. Again, bill.williams@chaviscounty.net. .gov. If you want to submit a letter of intention and get it to Bill by close of business today, and then the fireworks tomorrow.
Yep, it'll be an exciting morning because we're going to hear from a lot of very good people with a lot of very good ideas. And I hope that after it's done, all these people continue to communicate with whoever gets selected and make sure that those good ideas and good plans continue to move forward and help our community.
I would argue that whoever gets put into that position is actually better off for not having a whole lot of time to worry about, going to Santa Fe and all that. It's just you're in and you're in Santa Fe.
Yep.
There's no time to put pressure on yourself. You're going in, new fish, new pond, and it's really a crash course.
Well, people really respond well to that. I think the human element is that you get put in a bad situation, you're going to rise to the occasion. You're going to do better work than you probably would have. You've been, I've been thinking about this for a month. I'm going to go this direction. And you overlook all the pitfalls that you didn't see. Whereas you're in there and you've got to make those decisions now. Boom, boom, boom.
Yep.
And it's going to be good for a person.
High pressure makes diamonds, So
but, hey, I like that.
There you go. You could just be a regular lump of coal, but you put enough pressure and time, you're going to diamond out of that bad boy. So absolutely, if you want to be a part of this session tomorrow, get your letter of intent to Bill, and again, the session tomorrow at 9 a.m. Be there. It's going to be a roller coaster. I'm really excited to see where we go from here.
Yeah, I am too. And our legislators always take real good care of our community. They give us millions of dollars. I mean, municipalities, the towns, Dexter, Hagerman, Lake Arthur, City of Roswell, County. Many 501c3s get assistance from our legislature, making sure that some of the funds that of course originate here end up back here to help us build a better community and take care of the issues that we have. And so we just want to continue with that sort of thing and thank them for all the hard work that they do.
Absolutely.
And congratulations, Mr. Nybert, on being a senator.
Congratulations and good luck to you.
And good luck. Yes.
It's definitely going to be an interesting session. Well, Bill, you got anything else for us this morning?
No, I just want to thank you and Mike. Mike's been ill all week. I've been off a little bit this week. My wife's homesick. Thank you for letting me come in and making this work out.
Absolutely.
We Mike and I have this thing. If you ever need to come on, just let me know. And then when we do, both of us have issues. So that's the way it goes.
Always seems to be the case. But absolutely, anytime you have anything going on, make this your home away from home. We're glad to get you on here and let the people know what's happening.
Mike's kind of fortunate too, kind of like our legislature. We're covered regardless if it's a morning without Mike Winters or not.
Right.
But you know, we all miss Mike's laughter though.
Absolutely.
All of us.
100%.
Yeah.
I tried. I can't mimic it. I pointed out one time that he has a Dr. Hibbert laugh. You ever watched The Simpsons?
Yes.
He has the that Dr. Hibbert laugh, and I love it every time. I'm a sucker for a cartoon laugh. I have a friend who has a laugh that is exactly Betty Rubble, like spot on, high pitch. It's spot on Betty Rubble, and I give her crap for it every time. But I'm a sucker for a fun laugh. Well, Bill, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And good luck tomorrow. It's going to be quite the process, but I know that better heads will prevail, and we'll come out on the other side better off for it.
Yes, I think we will. Thank you again for letting me come in.
Absolutely. Thanks again, Bill. 20 minutes away from 10 o'clock. Let's pause and get you up to date with some local news.
Now, for your Pecos Valley News update, I'm Jared Cirillo. If Eddy County officials get their wish, the county will soon embark on building a brand new courthouse. The current Eddy County Courthouse in Carlsbad is now 110 years old this year. The county is asking state lawmakers to approve $20 million for the courthouse project. This would be the second year in a row that Eddy County has asked for the funding. The 2023 request was rejected and split between several other counties, including Bernalillo. A reminder that the City of Artesia has scheduled a public meeting to allow residents to offer input on the city's comprehensive plan. The meeting on Wednesday, January 10th, will be from 6 to 7:30 at the Artesia Center, 612 North 8th Street. A presentation will be given on the results of the community survey, draft goals and objectives, and alternative future land use scenarios. Goals and objectives will address land use, community character, economic development, housing and neighborhoods, and several other subjects. For more details, visit artesiacomprehensiveplan.com. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Your morning cup of Sean. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
In the New York Times, they say, though little discussed by the Biden administration, the Iranian nuclear program has now suddenly been put on steroids. Well, do you think it has something to do with the amount of money that Joe Biden is allowing the Iranians to make selling oil? That the amount of money they're allowing to be transferred into Iran, to the mullahs of Iran? International inspectors are announcing this past December that Iran initiated a threefold increase in their enrichment of, near bomb-grade uranium. By rough estimates, Iran now has the fuel for at least 3 atomic weapons, and American intelligence officials believe the additional enrichment needed to turn that fuel into bomb-grade material would only take a few weeks. Well, that would be a clear and present danger to the world. Great job, Joe.
Your morning cup of Sean. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9862. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9862. That's 800-575-9862. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Astronauts are not allowed to eat beans before they go into space because passing wind in a spacesuit damages them. The suits or the astronauts? Here's Mike Winters.
The answer is both. 16 minutes away from 10 o'clock on a morning without Mike Winters. If you missed any portion of today's program, remember you can always go back and check it out in its entirety over at ksvptv.com. Let's click on the Mornings with Mike Winters tab, and you can check that show out in its entirety. Coming up after the program, Roy will take the interviews that we had today with Ms. Janine in the 7 o'clock hour and Chaves County Manager Bill Williams here in the 9 o'clock hour. cut those up and get them posted up over on the Facebook page and across all of our social media. 15 away from 10 o'clock. Let's get you up to date with the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're looking pretty good today. We'll stay a little bit breezy, 20 to 25 miles per hour on that wind. We'll be in the low 60s, though, and we should have plenty of sunshine with high pressure overhead. Low to mid-30s and clear for the overnight hours. And then we have cold front dropping in on Thursday, mid-50s for the afternoon high. Some cloud cover and wind gusting to 45 miles an hour. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 37 degrees. Humidity at 36%. Winds out of the southeast at around 3 miles an hour. For your today, Wednesday, mostly sunny skies. 62 for the high. Winds out of the southwest 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming northwest later in the afternoon. For tonight, clear skies dropping down to about 30 for the overnight low. Winds southwest 5 to 10 miles an hour. Increasing clouds with a high of around 58 for your Thursday. Winds out of the west 10 to 20 miles an hour, increasing to between 20 and 30 later in the afternoon. Gusts as high as 45 for your TGI Thursday. So it's going to be cold and blowy on Thursday. Even colder and even blowier on Thursday night, dropping down to 21 for the overnight low, and the winds 20 to 30 miles an hour sustained, and gusts as high as 40 miles per hour. For your Friday, sunny skies, 53 for the high. Winds out of the west, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, mostly clear, up to about 29 for the overnight low. And for Saturday, sunny skies, 64 degrees, 58 for the high on Sunday. Heading into your Martin Luther King Day, by the way, mostly sunny, only getting up to 34 degrees for Martin Luther King Day. So a big drop in temperatures, but it's all right. Day off, we can stay inside for the most part, so enjoy yourself. 14, now 13 minutes away from 10 o'clock. That's called backwards math, Mike. You should try it sometime. Let's get you up to date with your Wall Street Business Report.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Greg Clugston. Federal regulators are extending the grounding of some Boeing jets after an Alaska Airlines plane lost a side panel last week.
The Federal Aviation Administration says guidelines for inspecting the planes for safety are being revised. That's causing more flight cancellations for Alaska and United Airlines, which can't use their Boeing 737 MAX 9 jets. A panel called a door plug blew off an Alaska jetliner over Oregon last week.
Correspondent Jeremy House reporting. Walmart announced it will be expanding its drone delivery to nearly 2 million additional households in the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area later this year. Drones aren't new to the nation's largest retailer, but company leaders say that this expansion is a sign of growing demand and efficiency. Walmart also announced this week it's diving further into the world of AI. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Greg Clugston.
Garlic has been around for thousands of years and is one of the world's favorite seasonings. Without garlic, most of our food would be dull and boring, kind of like watching C-SPAN. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. If you like to cook and like to grow things, you ought to try growing your own garlic. Come by Roswell Seed Company and we'll show you how. And next August, you'll have fresh, homegrown garlic to make your food taste great and keep the vampires away.
At Artesia General Hospital, our board-certified podiatrists are committed to providing personalized care in a welcoming environment. Dr. Jennifer Chow and Dr. Michael Krupa offer the latest surgical techniques and treat a range of conditions including arthritis, bunions, joint care, and more. If you're suffering from foot, ankle, or lower leg pain, we can help. Visit artesiageneral.com/foot care to request an appointment and begin your journey toward happier, healthier feet.
Attention Roswell, Carlsbad, Artesia, and surrounding areas. Roswell Tire and Appliance has what you're looking for with a great selection of refrigerators, freezers, washers and dryers, and ranges, and they can prepare your appliance as well with many models in stock and on sale. You can own it today. RTA services after the sale with repair, warranty, and delivery to Roswell and surrounding areas. Save big on a selection of scratch and dent appliances too, plus a great selection of tires and a team of people to help you when you need it most. Roswell Tire and Appliance, 101 South Main in downtown Roswell.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. China has more English speakers than the United States. They have more Chinese speakers, too. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. 11 minutes away from 10 o'clock on this morning without Mike Winters. hopefully, if all things go according to plan, Mixmaster Mike will be back inside your radios tomorrow morning. So he'll be back in the captain's chair doing what he do and doing it well. In case you missed any portion of the program, again, you can go back and check it out in its entirety at ksvptv.com. Click on the Mornings with Mike Winters tab and enjoy that show in its entirety. Or head over to one of our social media sites like Facebook. You can find those interviews up piecemeal here in just a few minutes once the show wraps up. Just a reminder, once again, coming up this 1 week from this Friday, January 19th, at the Roswell Adult Center at 807 North Missouri, we're taking you all the way back to the 80s. That's with or without skates. It's going down 1 week from Friday, January 19th, 7 to 10 p.m. Now, it's $5 per participant, and you must be 18 years of age or older. It's just a great night to enjoy skating, dancing, or just hanging out and socializing. It's going to be a gnarly, awesome, tubular, radical kind of night. Their words, not mine. So bring your friends, tell your family. It's all going down Friday, January 19th at the Roswell Adult Center, 807 North Missouri. And be there or be square. Hey, real quickly, I also wanted to bring to your attention that the Roswell Museum and Art Center, and they do this every month, they're going to be celebrating Second Saturday, this coming Saturday. That's going to be happening at the Roswell Museum and Art Center right there at 1011 North Richardson Avenue. Now, in addition to free admission all day for Roswell citizens, I also got some great stuff going on for the kiddos. Starting off with family activities from 10 to 1. It's usually a craft. In this case, it'll be collages inspired by artist Marty Zelt. Then at 11 a.m., this is why I go every week or every month. They have a free planetarium show. Planetarium shows are awesome. Get to kick back, enjoy, learn a little something. But let me tell you why the planetarium is so much more awesome than just the planetarium shows. If you go early enough, before the actual movie thing starts, they show what's called a fractal. If you know what a fractal is, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's basically a chance for your mind to go poof. It's just all kinds of cool shapes and journeys down different holes that you didn't think you were going to go down. It's a lot of fun. So be there or be square starting at 10 a.m. this coming Saturday. It's second Saturday at the Roswell Museum and Art Center, 1011 North Richardson Avenue. It's going to be fun. By the way, if you want more info, head for roswellmuseum.org and find out more. So, Roy, it's been a minute since we saw you. Been keeping busy?
No.
What's been taking your time here lately?
Just drawing.
Really? Okay.
Working on art. Working on possibly a comic book.
Oh,
I don't
really?
know. Yeah.
Cool. Well, are you still doing the teaching thing?
I actually did. I did do the teaching thing.
You're done with it now?
But it was, yeah.
Okay.
Well, not for this semester. I won't be doing it.
No?
It's just not ready.
I understand. This is your first time getting to put on your professor boots, though. It's exciting.
It was kind of scary. It was pretty scary. And I actually give a lot of credit to teachers for just for showing up.
Oh, yeah, 100%. You guys, appreciate your teachers because, yes, they get summers off, they get winter break and all that, and that's fine and well and good. But you ever seen how hard a teacher actually works? Like my kid alone, when I go to to one of her meetings, there's a book, like a book basically of papers that are all completely filled out of notes and of records and of things, and that's all basically done by hand by your teachers. So thank a teacher the next time you see them because they definitely do put in the work. Absolutely.
I was just scrolling through Twitter on my phone, and it just said the top 4 white guys. It's Steve Irwin, Tony Hawk, Adam Sandler, and John Cena.
Yeah, I didn't see that fourth one, though.
It's just out of
But who's the first? So you said Tony Hawk.
Just out of context.
Who was the first one?
Steve Irwin.
Which, yeah, he's a legacy. Absolutely, Steve Irwin. He stands the test.
I like how he's still top 4 white guys.
Dude, speaking of Steve Irwin,
that was long ago.
Yeah, but he set a legacy.
Yeah.
And but speaking of Steve Irwin and or Australia, just this week, someone discovered a completely new type of spider, and this spider is massive. They said it's called some kind of funnel web spider.
Oh.
They said it's about the size of a baseball, It's got like the venom. They said is like 60 times more venomous than any other funnel web spider, and the person that found it wasn't like a scientist or a researcher or anything like that. It was just some dude. Like some guy was on a hike and he found this spider that he'd never seen before.
Yeah.
Took a picture of it and they're like, "No, that's brand new, a brand new species we didn't even know existed." So
usually it's some guy finding stuff.
Just a whole other reason why I am never, ever gonna go to Australia. I mean, I'd love to. It looks beautiful. Perth looks like it'd be fun. I'd love to go check out, Queensland and all that, but no.
Oh yeah, I just found this guy on this island who thinks World War II hasn't ended yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna avoid Australia at all costs. No matter how much fun Bluey makes it look, I'm gonna avoid Australia at all costs.
Well, you just got to stay away from the middle part. That's it, because it's all just like desert, unknown trash.
Here's a fun fact. Did you know? It's always funny when I come across other like countries and nations racial slurs. Did you know that in Australia, ooga booga is considered a slur? Ooga booga. Apparently it's a slur against the Aboriginal people, saying that they're savages and all that. But yeah, there was a whole episode of a TV show that had to be censored because one of the characters said called her dad ooga booga.
I think the word mumbo jumbo started out as a slur and then eventually just became like normal.
Mumbo jumbo. That is fun to say.
I think because it was like an Aboriginal, some white guy said it was like, it was like a mamba jambu, but he like coined it by just calling it mumbo jumbo.
Don't go and say the original. That now I feel like we're slurring. Can't be doing that. It's I stumble on those lists all the time of like how to curse without cursing. Like, what's your favorite non-curse word? You have one? Mine is mother father, because I feel like it really gets
the CUCK.
Cuck?
Yeah,
it's not a bad word.
Okay,
no, it's now the act isn't great. It's also fun to.
I think that's a great way to like bypass, without while really hitting them where it hurts. It's a real way to bypass the FCC.
Yeah. Cucks of the world, unite.
Or see you next Tuesday is also my...
And moving on, 3 minutes away from 10 o'clock. By the way, if you missed any portion of today's program, especially this last 10 minutes of nonsense, you can always go back and check it out in its entirety over at ksvptv.com. Hey, you are invited to join the Chavez County Cooperative Extension for some finger knitting. That's right, I said finger knitting. I'm not sure what it is either, but if you want to know about it, it's going down February 1st, 5:30 p.m. at the Chavez County Cooperative Extension Office at 200 East Chisholm, Suite number 4. It's your chance to learn about the exciting world of finger knitting. Definitely want to be a part of that. We're at the first of the year, so there's not a lot of PSAs out there to talk about, but if you're interested in sewing or quilting, beginning sewing and quilting classes are going to be happening. Actually, it's just started Mondays all the way through February 12th from 10 to noon at the Roswell Adult Center at 807 North Missouri. If you want to get into sewing, if you want to learn a little more about sewing, quilting, making your own stuff, well, Calico Cow Fabric will have instruction on hand, so even the beginnerest of beginners can learn the trade and the craft. That's all happening at the Roswell Adult and Senior Center, 807 North Missouri. If you want more information, you can call 575-624-6718, or you can go to you can email register@roswellconnect.com to get your registration. And if you want to be a part of beginning sewing and quilting classes, thanks to our friends over at Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop. Again, 575-624-6718, or email register@roswellconnect.com. 1 minute away from 10 o'clock, and I want to say a big thank you to each and every one of you out there in the land for tuning in on this morning without Mike Winters. Of course, in the 7 o'clock hour, we had Miss Janine Kornbest chatting up the Chavez County Federated Republican Women and all their activities and stuff happening with the lunch sessions, which are going to be starting. The first one of the year is coming up January 17th, and that's going to be at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center. In the 9 o'clock hour, we had Chavez County Manager Bill Williams chatting about the special session that's going to be happening tomorrow. You can find that interview at ksvptv.com. Back with you on Thursday, hopefully with Mixmaster Mike right here in the chair. Till then, Be seeing you.
Your home for Sean Hannity in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell.